What's this in the paper? From air hostess to college lecturer thanks to psychometrics. Lorna Fitzsimons worked cabin crew until one day, by chance, she happens to solve an extremely difficult maths puzzle for a colleague. Her colleague suggests she follow it up by doing a psychometric test, which she does, and her results are off the charts. And now she's Professor Lorna Fitz... Wait a minute. I know that name. Lorna Fitzsimons. Surely not the Lorna Fitzsimons, not my Lorna Fitzsimons. What could it be? I'm mesmerised. Like the flick of a switch in my brain, I'm back there, Fingal, North County Dublin. I'm 10 years old and it's 1979. The year of the papal visit. Thatcher has strolled into Downing Street. The USSR march into Afghanistan. And America has sneaked into El Salvador.
Rejecting every effort at compromise, the Ayatollah has planned his return with masterly timing.
That's exactly what he does.
Where there is discord, may we bring harmony. Where there is error, may we
1979. The oil crisis. The Iranian hostage crisis. Jack Lynch resigns. Mountbatten is murdered. The Whiddy Island disaster. The Cold War. Nuclear fear. Voyager takes a picture of Jupiter. In the hurling, Galway would meet Kilkenny, Dublin and Kerry in the football. Chiquitita was on the radio and the Waltons were on television. 1979, the Indian summer. As the youngest, I was no stranger to hand-me-downs. But as September 79 approached, so too did the prospect of me being on the receiving end of a peculiar family heirloom. For reasons I'm still not sure of, one of my older siblings had in their possession the keys of our national school, which they would open in the morning and lock in the evening. When that kid reached the end of 6th class, the job would pass on to the next. In my own brief memory up to that point, I'd observed my brother Puck pass the keys to Marie, Marie to Malachy, Malachy to Audrey, and now Audrey was finished national school and preparing to go to secondary school. Down through the years, the ritual went as follows. Andrew McLaughlin, a member of the village committee, would, on the last week of August, come to our house with the keys. My father would pass them to whomever was next in line. So on the last Friday of August 79, Andrew duly came with the keys. I was the only one left in national school, so my father walked into the kitchen and said to me,
Brendan, will you open the school?
No.
What? Why not?
I don't want the responsibility.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, you and Mr. O'Donnell were in the garden the other day. You were talking about some man leaving a party and another man running a party.
Leaving? A party? What? Do you mean Jack Lynch?
Yeah, him. And Mr. O'Donnell said to you, I don't think Charlie even wants to lead the party. He doesn't want the responsibility.
Yeah.
And you said, you're probably right, Paddy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want the responsibility of opening the school.
But that's not... You can't... I give up. Patsy, are you hearing your son here? You have to open the school, Brendan.
Says who?
Says I.
Well, I'm not.
I'd only said all this because I liked the sound of, I don't want the responsibility. I wasn't even sure what it meant, but when I said it, and the reaction it received, I realised I'd stumbled upon something which made me feel very grown up. So, being stubborn, I stuck to my guns. Sunday came, Mass. Me, the altar boy, and Dad, the church collections. As the neighbours shuffled out the big doors, Dad told Father Crowley my position. I legged it out of the sacristy before he came back in. Father Crowley immediately notified the village committee. Most of them men, most of them standing chatting outside the church gates, slicing tobacco and stuffing pipes, gearing up for their weekly political rant on the walk home. And within that committee, its own council of state within our own tiny village republic, the reaction to the news could only be described as a constitutional crisis. Who was going to open the school? At an emergency session of the Council of State later that day in the parochial hall, Father Crowley was emphatic. He couldn't do it. He said Mass every morning and was up to his oxers with the impending papal visit. Paddy Donald ruled himself out. Johnny Connolly was a farmer, so he couldn't just drop everything, nor could my father. Johnny correctly predicted that the teachers, accustomed to hearing every excuse known to man and child, would, at the drop of a hat, have their own reasons why none of them could possibly. Finally, a temporary arrangement was agreed. For the first week, Andrew McLaughlin could open the school. He was on holidays from work. Johnny would lock up and, unbeknownst to me at the time, a plan was put in place to resolve the issue permanently. The keys would be kept at our house, collected and returned each day. So, there the bunch would sit on the mantelpiece as always, only now with a life of their own, rattling reminders of my budding obstinance. Kilkenny beat Galway, and school started back without much further ado. On the second day, a sweltering Thursday, I was on my way into Miss Butler's class.
You're not taking the keys, Brendan.
I was dreading this confrontation. Father Crowley. He strolled up.
You know, Brendan, if you were to become a priest, you wouldn't be able to just refuse to do something, especially if that something was in the service of your community.
He looked deep into my eyes, and then finally grinned his grin.
Anyway, see you tomorrow. The wedding's at 11, 10:30 at the sacristy's time enough.
Okay, Father. Hey, Father, what do you know about him? Martin Luther?
He stopped, turned, looking at me as if I just told him I didn't believe in transubstantiation.
What do you know about Martin Luther?
Nothing. Just that I was in the mobile library yesterday and there was a book about him.
Yes?
And I was looking at it.
Yes?
And Miss Butler. Yeah, Miss Butler. She came over and said I should get it, that I'd like it. But I already had my books taken, so I might get it next month.
Miss Butler? Did she now? Well, it's very complicated theology, Brendan, and it might confuse you, but better to stick with the letters of St. Paul for the time being.
I was late getting into Miss Butler's class. It was packed, 5th and 6th combined. I scrunched in beside Midge Walsh, my best friend. Bobby McGrath turned, stared at me and stuck out his tongue. Fool. When the terms choice, freedom of speech or republic are mentioned, some may think of America or the 1916 proclamation, but I think of Miss Butler and France. Because Miss Butler took it upon herself to teach us the French language and everything else about our great republic. She told us about liberté, égalité, fraternité. None of us had a clue what she was going on about half the time, but we were all in awe of her passion. I don't think our parish priest had a lot of time for Miss Butler. To the other teachers, Father Crowley was polite and chatty, but to the young, sophisticated Miss Butler, he was just polite. Just. In fairness, though, I don't think Miss Butler had a lot of time for him either. Miss Butler wrote on the blackboard, then turned to the class.
OK, now, before we begin, you have a new classmate.
A new classmate? Whispers and murmurs of intrigue shimmered around the room.
Lorna, would you like to introduce yourself en français?
Heads turned as a voice in broken French floated up into the air.
Je m'appelle Lorna Fitzsimons.
She was sitting over at the high window next to Mary Kavanagh, the afternoon sun shining in on her.
J'ai 10 ans.
On her blonde hair and her sparkling green eyes. She was gorgeous.
Je suis de Dublin.
Wait, did I just think she's gorgeous?
Je viens de Malahide.
No, I'm not thinking straight. I couldn't possibly think she's gorgeous.
J'ai un frère.
She's a girl. I don't even like girls. My sister's friend Karina's a girl and I hate her.
J'aime la France.
But no. Here I was, hearing music as this new girl spoke. She was so pretty and so brainy, talking French. I was in a tizzy as we started our lessons. I tried to put it out of my head. I'm just confused, I thought, and concentrated on my French book. Ms. Butler called out a question. I shot up my hand. So too did the new girl. The whole class turned, hanging on this standoff. The new girl looked at me. The class looked at me. I looked at the new girl. The class looked at the new girl. The new girl looked at Miss Butler. The class looked at Miss Butler. Miss Butler looked at me. Then I'd done something completely out of character. I took my hand down, as if to say,
Go ahead.
The new girl smiled at me. Oh, that smile. I thought someone turned on the lights. Near the end of the day, I was shuffling down the corridor again. The new girl was walking toward me. All of a sudden I felt awkward, conscious of myself. She smiled and stopped.
Hiya. What's your name?
She's talking to me. I can't speak.
Do you have a name?
Me? Motormouth. Can't speak. Oh, the irony. My name is it's Brendan. But some of my friends call me Ben.
My friend Midge called me Ben once, by mistake.
Wow. You have 2 names.
Yeah, I actually have 3. Because some people call me Benny as well.
Benny. Ooh.
Nobody called me Benny, not even by mistake. But I liked the beardy fella from ABBA. His name was Benny, and Top Cat's sidekick was called Benny as well.
Can I call you Benny?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Lorna. See you, Benny.
Say something. She's walking away, you fool. Say something. I'll see you tomorrow, so Lorna.
Oh, I won't be here tomorrow. We're still moving house, so I have to help my mum.
My heart sank. I wouldn't see her till Monday.
But she's not collecting me till 3:30, so we could hang around after school if you want.
Feckin' hell.
What?
Yeah. yeah, okay. I'll see you out the front after school.
Okay. See you, Benny.
I'm on cloud 9 as I walk away. Imagine that. I'm hanging around with the new girl after school.
She said, Can I call you Benny? Can I call you Benny? Wait. My name's not Benny. Well, it is now. I better tell everyone. No, wait. Better still. I'll tell Midge. He'll tell everyone.
Finally, the bell rang. School was over. Everyone milling about, not able to get out into the hot day quick enough. Johnny Connolly arrived to do what I was supposed to do, lock up the school. And as I sauntered out and he marched in, taking the jangling bunch of keys from the pocket of his regulation bright brown farmer's coat, I felt he was giving me daggers looks. I slunk around the back of the school, waiting for everyone to leave. No place can change its nature, become so eerie, so quiet, so quick as a school ground. Spooked, I ran back around and sure enough, there was the new girl, all alone, sitting on the front wall. I blushed when she saw me. She jumped down, grabbing her school bag.
Who was that man?
Mr. Connolly. He's a farmer. He locks up the school.
Deadly?
I could have locked up the school if I wanted, but I don't want to.
Oh. So, what will we do? You can show me around?
There's not much to show. I can show you the Hillfield and Scobie's.
Okay. What's Scobie's?
A farm.
And the Hillfield? What's that?
A field.
And why do they call it the Hillfield?
'Cause it's a field on a hill.
We walked to the back of the school, over the fence, across the narrow meadow, and into the cool of the wood.
This is nice. Beech trees. I lived at the sea. I haven't seen so many trees in ages.
Yeah, there's loads of trees around here. That's the Hillfield there.
Where?
Past that tree with the big split branch.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what happened to the branch?
Lightning.
Wow.
Mind the barbed wire?
I'll throw my bag across first. So, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I don't know. You?
I don't know. I like science. Steep hill. But I like animals as well. And people.
People are animals?
Well, to be specific, they're mammals.
I try to say that word, but I always end up saying Pacific.
Well, next time try say Pacific, and it might come out as specific.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you like?
Everything, I think. You're good at French?
Not as good as you.
That's true. Well, this is the top of the hill field. That's Scobie Griffin's farm.
Where?
Past the church.
Oh, yeah. And do you know Scobie?
Oh, yeah. I know well.
We sat down in our school bags, surveying the scene. After another long spell of silence, I said,
We'd better head back.
Okay. See you Monday, Benny.
See you, Lorna. Pacific.
I thought about the events of the day and wondered, did all that really happen? It felt like a dream. The time with her had flown, even though her mother hadn't come till 4 o'clock. As I knew I'd be asked loads of questions at home, I thought, I'll just say I was in Scobie's. If missing, I could always be found in Scobie's. Scobie was a dairy farmer. I used to help him out the odd evening.
Where were you?
I was helping Scobie.
You weren't, because Ma sent me up to get you and Scobie said you weren't there.
I was out the back. And anyway, he always says I'm not there. When he called up to get me last week, he asked you who you were talking about, and I was standing behind him.
Well, how come I didn't meet you on the lane then?
Because I came home through the fields.
Yeah? Well, how come?
You look stupid in that uniform.
Yeah, well, you are stupid.
Yeah? Well, I'd rather be stupid than look stupid.
Yeah, well, I'd rather look stupid than be stupid.
Well, that's good for you then, isn't it?
Why is that?
Because you look stupid.
Audrey's pencil case whizzed past my head.
Give it up, the pair of you.
He was with that new girl. Brendan has a girlfriend. Or should I say, Benny?
I swear, sometimes I used to think my sister had magical powers, like a witch. How did she know all this? It only just happened. And she was in a different school.
Benny.
Shut up.
She found all this out just by going from our house to Scobie's. And whose house was between ours and Scobie's? I seethed it under my breath. That clown who stuck his tongue out at me in Miss Butler's class. Bobby McGrath. The spy must have told her everything. After dinner I went to my room. I couldn't wait for Monday, when Lorna would be back.
Hey, Brendan.
The next day, a Friday, I had the morning off, officiating at a wedding in the capacity of altar boy. £2 notes from the beaming, radiant bride. Ooh, sweet. I walked into the schoolyard at lunchtime, still thinking of Lorna, telling myself she'd be back on Monday, and wondering again, was it all just a beautiful dream?
Hey, Brendan.
It was.
Brendan.
All just a dream.
Hey.
And I was being woken from it by the boy at the other end of that voice. I'd forgotten all about him. He wasn't in for the first few days because he was in a country called Spain with his parents.
Will you wait?
Dahi Madden. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed, the best-looking and most popular boy in school. Dahi Madden, the only boy I knew who had an action figure of James Tiberius Kirk, captain of the USS Starship, the Enterprise. He approached with the second in command, Bobby Blasted McGrath.
Where are you going? I'll wait till I tell you. Hey, why weren't you in school this morning?
I was doing altar boy.
Father Crowley's pet.
Shut up, Bobby.
Hey, were you on the hill field yesterday?
Was I on the hill field yesterday?
Yeah.
Was I on the hill field yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Bobby said he saw you with the new girl.
I did.
New girl?
The new girl.
Lorna Fitzsimons.
Yeah, Lorna. I haven't met her. What's she like?
Who?
Lorna Fitzsimons.
Yeah, Lorna Fitzsimons.
Lorna Fitzsimons?
The new girl. She lives in... Where does she live, Bobby?
The Knoll.
Yeah, she lives in the Knoll. She used to live in... Where did she used to live, Bobby?
Malahide.
Yeah, she's from Malahide. Her father's a businessman or something.
He owns a factory in Swords.
She's in our class.
Class? New girl?
Are you feeling all right?
Yeah. See you later.
Hey, and why are you telling everybody to call you Benny? Sure, I'll see you this evening.
This evening? What's he on about?
I was in big trouble now. Come Monday, when she saw him and he saw her, it was all over for me. Back in class, as Mr. Gallagher droned on and on, I was scribbling anxiously, thinking, what am I going to do? I looked across the room at my new tanned rival. He just smiled innocently at me, giving me the thumbs up. Oh, she was going to fall for him, no doubt, 'cause he was good-looking. Those blue eyes, those blasted blonde curls. But wait. Lorna Fitzsimons was really clever. So maybe she wouldn't fall for Dahi. Maybe brainy women didn't go in for all that good-looking stuff. Who was I kidding? All my sisters were real clever, but I'd seen them turn into complete giggling Egypts when the handsome James Malloy walked past our house on his way to the football pitch.
Oh, he's gorgeous. Oh, he's like your man on Bracken.
Bracken? No, he's not. And anyway...
Ma, your daughters have turned into nitwits again. What am I going to do? Oh, think, Brendan. Benny, think. Now, what type of man, besides good-looking, might a clever woman want? Well, not an ordinary man, anyway. Hey, what about an extraordinary man? But what makes an extraordinary man? What men like that do I know? My dad? No, he's just a man. Like Paddy Donald. Even Father Crowley's just an ordinary man. Jesus. Now he was an extraordinary man. But she's not going to like Jesus. Think. What makes a great man? I could ask Miss Butler, but I suspect Miss Butler would say something like, what makes a great man, Brendan? Oh, that's easy. A great woman.
Aha. For the opposite of what Miss Butler would say, I seek out her natural opposite. Oh, I'm scheming now.
Hello, Father.
Ah, Brendan.
Benny. I'm calling myself Benny now, Father.
Benny, the very man. Listen now,
Look, Father, I want to ask you a very important question about a project I have to do next week for Mr. Gallagher.
Yes?
I have to write a story about a great man.
Right.
Well, I need to know what makes a great man.
Oh, Brendan, I haven't the time to be devoting to this kind of thing at all.
No bother, Father. Sure, ask Miss Butler.
Wait, now hold on. What do you need to know?
Oh, you know, Father, what makes a great man? So that other men look up to him and girls or people want to be with him.
Want to be with him?
Yeah, you know, Father, in his company. A leader like Jesus. But sort of, kind of actually nothing like Jesus whatsoever.
Well, Benny, some might think a great man is a man who's rich. And others might think a great man is a man who has power and responsibility. But for me, a truly great man is a man who places his own interests at naught, sacrifices his own happiness in order to serve the congregation, the community he lives in. A man who values the virtue of kindness above all other things and has a sense of,
Sorry, Father. What was that you said about responsibility?
Yes. Well, some people might see greatness in a man who has power and responsibility. I remember one
Sorry, Father. I have to go.
I tore out of the church gates and ran like the wind, down through the wood, the words ringing in my head. Great man equals responsibility. Responsibility equals great man. Why? Why did I say I didn't want the responsibility of opening the school? Yes, she'll fall head over heels for a man with power. The power to open doors, literally. The responsibility of ensuring 55 kids get to their desks on time every morning. Oh, that'll impress her. Handsome Dahi. Ha! You haven't the hope. Power and responsibility. It'll beat brains, money, it'll even beat looks. Power and responsibility. I burst into the kitchen and glared in horror. The mantelpiece was empty.
The keys. Where are the keys?
They're in me pocket. Why? Sure, what do you want with the keys?
Well, it's like this, Dad. I was listening to Miss Butler there today, and she was talking about the French Revolution.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I can't remember what she said, but it was very good.
Yeah?
And then I was talking to Father Crowley there about serving your community. That was very good as well. So I've had a change of heart. I've decided to place my own interests at nautical.
What?
Take the keys and open the school. Because it's for the greater good.
Is that so?
It is, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you've seen sense, but there's no need now.
Huh?
Were you not in school this morning?
No, I was doing a wedding.
Oh. Well, your teacher asked her class if anyone would volunteer to open the school.
And someone volunteered?
Yes.
Who?
The blondie fella with the curls, the good-looking chap.
Dahi Madden?
Yeah, young Madden. He's calling this evening for the keys.
The perfect storm of calamity. Its merciless clouds, thunderous claps and lightning bolts boomed, cracked and rolled into my big blue sky.
Oh, no.
What?
Nothing.
I was finished. When she saw him and he saw her. His parents were rich, her parents were rich. He'd blonde hair and blue eyes. She'd blonde hair and... Wait, she'd green eyes. Their different coloured eyes wasn't going to make a difference. She'd probably even been in the country called Spain. And to top it all off, he was about to become a man of power and responsibility. I had a terrifying vision of the pair of them sitting out the front after school. She's bouncing her heels off the wall. He's jangling the keys in his hand. She looks into his eyes, then throws her head back, laughing at whatever he just said. There was no sound in the terrifying vision, so I'd no idea what he just said. But it was probably some private joke about being in the country called Spain. Then she laughs again, but this time, horror of horrors, she touches his arm. Turn off the vision, turn it off!
Did Father Crowley say anything to you about the airport?
What about the airport?
He said you can go with him when the Pope comes. He has a special pass.
Ordinarily, this would have been the equivalent of meeting Abba, but at the present moment, it meant very, very little. I didn't want to see Dahi when he called for the keys. I went to the bedroom. I felt wretched when I heard him at the door.
Yeah, Mr. Tiernan. I'll be there on time every morning. Is Benny there?
Benny? Who the hell is Benny?
Oh, Brendan.
Brendan? Brendan! No, he could be anywhere.
Oh, OK. Well, tell him I'll see him hanging the flags tomorrow.
I heard the latch on the gate as Dahi left.
He's a grand young fella, isn't he, Patsy?
Saturday morning, I woke dejected with a sore throat, feeling groggy and feverish, and I'd kind of already given up. The Dublin colours, hanging in the village in anticipation of the final against Kerry, were about to be joined by a different bunch of flags, as a stream of village volunteers, including myself, Dahi, Audrey, Midge, Father Crowley, and loads of others, got to work. Andrew McLaughlin worked for the P&T, so he was able to pull a few strokes and get his truck. It had a crane and a jib. Paddy was shouting from the ditch, telling him how to drive it. My father was just shaking his head. We crisscrossed the roads with the bunting and streamers, hung the little flags at the Garda station, the school, the parochial hall, the post office, even Scobie's milking parlour. I avoided Dahi the whole time, though he made several attempts to befriend me.
Do you want a hand with that, Benny?
No, I'll do it myself. Come on, Midge.
And when the work was finished and everyone stood back, we could barely see the navy and sky blue of Dublin behind the yellow and white of the Vatican. The village now swamped in the papal colours. Obviously the logic of the village committee being that as we were on the flight path to the airport, the papal plane would be coming in low to land. The Pope would be looking out of the window and he'd see this little corner of Dublin arrayed with the most concentrated assemblage of his very own colours, waving back up at him. Later, I went home through the wood with my father and his gang of political misfits.
At Mullaghmore, a mile from Lord Mountbatten's home, more of the wreckage has been brought ashore by guarded divers.
Audrey, move your homework before you spill something on it and it's my fault. Oh, you'd want to hear them, Patsy. And then Johnny says, privatise the CIE. They won't go on strike then. And that effing social welfare. Free this and free that. Effing handouts. And Paddy says, be the japers, Johnny. You should join the blue shirts. I've heard it all now, he says. What are you on about, says Johnny. A farmer, says Paddy. A farmer. Talking about privatisation. And tell me this, Johnny, says he, when everything's privatised...
I was beginning to feel even more groggy than that morning. Then something took over me. Something that had been building, from resigning myself to losing love before I even won it, not taking the keys and letting my family down, to being mean to Dahi. I experienced some kind of awakening, an awakening into a nightmare. It was something Paddy Donald had said on the walk home about what had happened the week previous. 18 British soldiers had been killed, as well as a man called Mountbatten, and 2 little boys. I started thinking about the 2 boys in Mountbatten's boat. My mind started racing because I couldn't understand why people would want to kill little boys or anyone else. Suddenly, all was not as innocent as I thought, and I was consumed with the fear that everything was a lie. I asked my older brother about it. He said it was the Brits' fault, because they shouldn't have been up the north in the first place. I went to the bedroom, despaired, thinking, is this how grown-ups settle their differences? I wasn't sure what the Brits had to do with it all. I was trying to put all the bits and pieces together, remembering different people giving out about the Brits, which to my 10-year-old mind just seemed odd. Because everyone was watching Top of the Pops and the FA Cup and Fawlty Towers, and they were all shopping in Woolworths and listening to the Beatles and following Liverpool or QPR, and no one seemed to have any interest in anything Irish beyond Gaelic football. And then I despaired even more about how grown-ups settle their differences, because for the life of me, I couldn't see the differences. Then I thought,
is there something seriously wrong with grown-ups?
Compared to kids, they seem to be such slow learners.
Are they all insane?
I kept thinking about the North and then about people killing people all over the world, and I knew it was complicated because people thought they were fighting for something like in the French Revolution. And then I started thinking about famines and diseases, and then nuclear bombs. I went on and on, breaking into a sweat. I was frantic as all the bits of information were swirling around in my head, and I ran from the house in a state of utter panic. I headed for the church, and I found Father Crowley.
And there's this man, Jimmy Carter. He's nice, but this other man, Brezhnev, he's real grumpy. And he has these things called warheads, loads of them. They're nuclear or something. They're bombs. One of them can kill 1 million people. And he has this red phone. It's called a hotline. And he just has to pick it up and speak into it. He doesn't even have to dial a number. Well, I don't think he has to. And then this general pushes a button and a shaft opens up in the ground. And people in New York and swords. They're just walking around minding their own business. They don't know that this thing is coming up from a bunker and it's going to shoot up into the sky. They see that after the explosion, the birds go quiet. That's a sign. And that the radio just goes off. And then this big thing just comes up out of the ground and it blocks out the sun. It's called a mushroom cloud. And Father, I can't hear the birds. I can't hear the birds, I can't hear the radio. They're after pushing the button. It's happening. They're after pushing the button. The world is going to end.
Slowly. No, but Benny, listen. The world isn't going to end. Calm down now. It's just your imagination. That's all. Calm down now. You're all right.
I steadied a bit. He made tea and a phone call. My father came and brought me home. The doctor was called. Strep throat, he said, and put my delirium down to a simple case of a sky-high temperature and an overactive imagination, which was all right, 'cause I got 7-Up. Monday. I never thought the day would come when I could stay home from school but want to go in. I was kept home, still sick, even sicker imagining the terrifying vision of Dahi and Lorna out the front. I sloped in on Tuesday as class was starting. Dahi, obviously doing his new job, no problem. There she was up the front, the wonderful Lorna. It all came back to me. Seeing her for the first time, meeting her in the corridor, the walk through the wood, sitting on top of the hill field together. all seemed like an age away. After a while, I watched her scan the room. She looked down and smiled. Oh, that smile! My heart rose momentarily, then sank when I realised who was sitting behind me. Dahi. She was looking past me, smiling at him. Ah, well, I thought. It all happened yesterday. She saw him and he saw her. All was lost. The bell rang for the break. She was making her way over to me, probably to say, "Who's the boy that was sitting behind you?" So I just slipped out to the shelter. After a while, Dahi found me, Bobby McGrath, as usual, sloping behind him.
Hey, Benny, listen.
I don't want to know if you're going with her.
What?
And anyway, I kissed her first.
Kissed who?
And she only likes you because you have the keys. That's all. And anyway, they're my keys.
Kissed who?
Lorna Fitzsimons. I kissed Lorna Fitzsimons. Yeah. You're speechless now, aren't you?
Uh-oh. So you kissed me? Did you?
Huh?
Haha, caught a rabbit.
Lorna, wait, come back.
Deadly.
Oh, leave him alone, Bobby.
Lorna, wait.
I didn't kiss you. I wouldn't kiss you, even if you were the last boy in the world. And for your information, I didn't like you because you opened the school. I liked you because I thought you were nice.
She stormed off again. Back in class, I tried to get her attention. She was having none of it. At lunchtime, I was back in the shelter, dejected. Dahi came over.
Benny, I was talking to Lorna.
So you are going with her now?
What? No. We're just friends. She's real nice. I told her that you didn't mean it like that. About kissing her.
Yeah?
Yeah. I told her you only said it because you like her.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I'd say if you talk to her, she'd be grand. Here, you take the keys. You open the school.
What?
Yeah. I don't want them. When you were doing altar boy the other day, some people in class were giving out about you for not opening the school. So I volunteered because I thought it might make them shut up. And sure, listen, Benny, if you told me you liked Lorna, I wouldn't ask her to go with me anyway. Sure, my friend.
Up to that point, I wasn't close to Dahi Madden, mainly because I was jealous of him. But now we were best friends. We made our way back into class with our arms around each other's shoulders.
Anyway, Benny, now don't tell anyone. But I don't think I even like girls.
Lorna?
What?
I'm sorry. Can we be friends?
Yes, but only friends.
Okay. Will you meet me after school?
For what?
I want to show you something.
Yeah. Okay.
School was over. I had the keys. I let Lorna come back in the main entrance and led her along the empty corridor to a door in the corner. A door which was always locked.
You can't go in there.
I can. I have the keys.
What's in there anyway?
Now you'll have to promise to cover your eyes first, okay?
Okay.
Swear?
Swear! What's that? What's that noise?
Keep your eyes covered. I'm gonna go turn on the lights.
Covered.
Now, open your eyes.
Wow! A skeleton! And a Bunsen burner. Oh, this is so great. But what are they doing in here?
The old headmaster got this stuff. He was going to teach us science, but then he got sick, so it didn't happen. They just threw it all in here.
He's fab. Look at his eyes.
He doesn't have eyes.
You know what I mean.
I read a book on the human body. They're called the metacarpals. Well, I think. And the bone in his ear is called the stirrup. It's the smallest bone, and that's your clavicle.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
It is your clavicle.
It's not. It's his clavicle.
Okay, very funny.
You're funny.
Oh, you're a funny bone. Hey, do you think it's called a funny bone because its real name is the humerus, or because it feels funny when you bang it off something?
Do you ever stop thinking about everything?
Nope. Give me your elbow.
That feels funny.
See? That's your funny bone, and that's his.
We looked into each other's eyes. Silence. A tingle of electricity ran through the air, into my hand, up her arm. The whole world went quiet. I'll never forget that kiss. The sound of her breath, the feel of her lips. There is nothing to add to this story that can eclipse that kiss, so I'll finish it. Through the remainder of the school term, we were inseparable. We held hands, we talked, we finished each other's sentences. Then ultimately, we finished out the year. She went to the convent school, I went to technical college. Shortly after, because of her father's job, she moved house again, and I never saw her again. The Pope came and went, the years rolled on. Father Crowley died, as did Johnny and Paddy, and my mother and my father. Now that remote little corner of Fingal, North County Dublin, has become, like so much of the rest of rural Ireland, a graveyard. The post office is closed, the Garda station is closed, the school is closed, the pub is gone, the community is dead. The parochial hall has weeds growing from its gutters. The wood where we played, chased and climbed trees. The wood that the villagers used as a shortcut to Mass and to the hill field. That wood is owned by a developer now, fenced off with high railings. The church is empty. The people are gone. That handsome boy, Dahi, grew up to be an even more handsome young man, with a kind word and a smile for everyone. And everyone loved him, including me. And for whatever reason, who knows, at 22 years of age, in the early hours of a summer Sunday morning, Dahi walked into Aidan Walsh's barn and hanged himself. I looked at the newspaper article again, at the photograph. A happy woman sitting in her lecture room, the pretty professor of science. Oh, it was her all right. The unmistakable smile. Lorna Fitzsimons. My Lorna. My Di.
The Money Doesn't Matter, an Irish comedy by Louis Dalton, adapted to radio by Dennis Hawthorne.
There now, I think that's everything. God send they won't be late down or the breakfast will be spoiled on them.
Morning, Mrs. Kinchler. It's a grand morning.
I know nothing about the morning, Nick and Irons. I wasn't out in it.
And now, as I walked across the garden, I said to myself, that's a grand summer's morning.
It'd be queer if it wasn't, and it's July.
The sun is splitting the trees. Aye, splitting them.
The boss isn't paying the sun for splitting the trees. It's sure been paid to do that. Way back to your timber yard and see how many sacks of sawdust will you put up between this and the Angelus.
Now, aren't you a very crabbit old woman? Very crabbit indeed.
I'm not an old woman.
But sure, no, you're not a young one. Sure you're not.
I am, then. I'm young from the age, and I'm young in my ways.
Could be. The boss isn't around yet, I suppose. He hasn't come down yet.
He's neither up nor down. He's in bed.
Very well, so. Tell me this. Is that fire engine outside Mr. Harvey's?
What fire engine?
The big red racing car is standing out in the drive.
Oh, it's Mr. Harvey, sure enough. It was brought down from Dublin last night.
Boys, it's a murderous-looking yoke. Murderous. It must have cost a nice penny, so it must. A nice penny.
Every penny of £1,500.
Boys, that's great work. Oh, a venomous construction, so it is. Venomous. And at £1,500. Cheer it. He'll break his jaw, so he will.
Something will be broke, that's sure. He's off to the Limerick races tomorrow to break a record. There's not the mercy of God he'll break his neck.
It's a great uprise for Tom Mannion's son. A great uprise.
He'll be out of a job if the boss hears you calling him Tom Mannion.
'Tis little you know. Sure, I never call him anything else but Tom Mannion.
Is that so? Well, any time I've heard you addressing him, 'twas Mr. Mannion, and sir, you call him.
Why, yes. When people like yourself are around, I do have to keep up appearances. But Tom and me both came out of the two-room cottages of Tanyer Lane, remember? And mind you, I'm not saying that to make much of myself, or little of him. I am not then. And don't you imagine it, me good woman.
I'm not your good woman.
No, indeed, thank God. But you're a good woman all the same.
Good morning, Ellen.
Good morning, Mr. Harvey.
Hello, Ken Irons. What are you doing here?
I was just passing Mr. Harvey. That's an invincible-looking car you bought. You should be able to raise a dust at Limerick tomorrow that won't die down in a 12-month.
Good morning, Harvey. Good morning, Ellen. I'm starving. I'd eat you, Ellen, if you hadn't got something good for me.
No need for that now. I've some lovely little troutines here for you. Pour yourself a cup of tea. I'll be preparing your father's.
Well, now, Ken Irons, what is it you want?
Well, it was to see the boss I came.
You're seeing him.
I wanted to see Mr. Mannion.
You're seeing Mr. Mannion. Well,
I mean to say your father, you see, sir.
Look, understand this. When my father isn't here, I'm the boss.
Yes, sir. But I'd like to wait and see your father if I could. It's a bit of personal business, and I'd like to...
Oh, come on, man, get out of here. And don't let me find you in this room at this hour of the morning again.
No, sir. Thank you, sir. Goodbye, Miss Nora.
Harvey, how can you be so brutal?
Oh, he's an arrogant old rogue, and he's impertinent.
I don't think he means to be. It's just he's been working so long for Father. Do you want some tea?
Yeah, please. Now, I tell you this, if he doesn't bend his ways, he won't be much longer working here.
Besides, he went to school with Father.
Well, he didn't go to school with me. Oh, thanks. Besides, employees expect to be sat on. An occasional kick in the pants ensures their veneration. Oh, and by the way, if the old fellow sees you going around in that dress, there'll be trouble.
What's wrong with the dress?
It's frowsy.
It isn't frowsy.
Well, it looks frowsy, and sure, that's the same thing. Why have you got to go around in sackcloth and ashes most of the time? My God, you're a queer young woman. And your hair's like nothing on earth.
I'm afraid it isn't very good hair.
Well, why don't you try to do something with it?
I've tried everything, and I've tried it every way, but it always looks the same. Oh, well, I'm going to settle its hash very shortly. I'm going to have it shaved off.
That's a bit drastic. Is it a new fashion?
No, it's a very old fashion. I mean it, Harvey. I'm going to be a nun.
You're not joking, are you?
I wouldn't joke about a thing like that. I've been thinking about this for quite a while.
No one noticed anything.
Of course not. You can't notice people thinking. You and Father are always too busy in any case.
I mean, well, you've always been quite cheerful and normal, and...
Why shouldn't I? I've got something to be cheerful about.
No. What I mean is that there was never anything of the holy lily about you.
I didn't say I was going to be a holy lily. I said I was going to be a nun.
But what about Michael Harney? Now, wasn't he by way of paying a lot of attention to you at one time?
Oh, Harvey, he does that to every girl that he happens to be near. I'm told he has a rag on every bush, and I don't like men like that.
Well, sure, there's other sorts of men.
Yes.
Nora, I hope this isn't going to cause a repetition of the awful business there was about Francis. The father made a big effort to stop Francis going into the church. He may be the same about you.
He won't. I'm quite different. But Francis, being the eldest, Father wanted him to be a successor in the business and to be the same as you are now.
I don't think you understand the old fella very well. You know, the family, this family, well, it's been a great disappointment to him.
Why should it have been? None of us did anything very terrible.
Maybe not. But then none of us have done anything very outstanding. You see, that's what Father expects. Francis goes off to the foreign mission, then dies at the age of 25 in some tropical swamp looking after insanitary natives. Then there's Philip.
What about Philip?
Well, Philip wanted to be a composer. So Father spent a fortune sending him to Milan and all round the continent. But how does he end up? Drunk in the streets more often than not. And lastly, there's Veronica.
Now, she couldn't help being in love with Jack Hogan.
I shouldn't have thought it would be an impossible feat to avoid that.
I can't see that Jack Hogan was such a bad sort.
He might have been the best sort in the world. But as far as his family and father are concerned, he had one terrible disability. He came out of Creasy Street.
What of it? Father came out of Tanyard Lane.
We needn't keep reminding ourselves of that.
I think we ought to remind ourselves of it at stated intervals. It seems to me that Father ought to have approved of Jack Hogan.
Why?
He was doing what Father says we should all do, trying to rise in the world.
Well, the point is Jack hasn't risen in the world, and he won't with 5 children to support.
Harvey, perhaps I shouldn't say it, but isn't it just a little bit unreasonable for Father to expect us to become cardinals and composers and marry somebodies?
I said you didn't understand, Father. All he ever wanted of us was to outshine everybody else.
Good morning to you both.
No, good morning, Father.
Good morning, Father.
And a fine morning it is, too. Yeah, well.
You really shouldn't drink until you've had something to eat.
Nonsense. I've been doing this all my life. Sure, I couldn't look at food until I've had a drink. But you wait and see the breakfast I'll eat afterwards.
Morning, Mr. Mannion. I hope you slept well.
I did not, Ellen. Damn the wink. Only lying awake in the dark, plotting villainy all night. Wouldn't you know that by the looks of me?
Joking, yeah, sir. You look fine and fresh and hale and hearty.
Dying on my feet, Ellen. Well, have you anything good to eat there?
Yes, sir. Some grand, fat little troutines were sailing the river at 5 o'clock this morning.
Good girl. I'll keep you another week and stamp your insurance card for you. What's that you're wrestling with, Nora?
Some of Ellen's troutines, but they have more than the usual number of bones.
Take the bones out with your fingers, Miss Nora.
That's the very thing to do now. I was going to suggest that myself.
There's a very plebeian streak in this family somewhere.
I wonder where it comes from.
If you're not careful, I'll tell you.
You wouldn't dare.
I would. I'm a daredevil. I dare anything.
Well, go on, then. I defy you.
All right, then. You asked for it. It's...
Go on.
It's Tanyard Lane.
I never heard a bad joke go so well.
Now, don't be so smug, Harvey.
Well, I don't see why Tanyard Lane should have a monopoly of the humour. How is it we can't get a laugh out of Knockderry House? I'm sorry if I said anything out of the way, Father.
That's all right, Harvey. But mind, you'd better bring the motoring trophy back from Limerick if you don't wield his own, won't we, Ellen?
I'd be as well satisfied if he'd bring himself back, sir.
Oh, he'll do that all right.
I dread that motor racing thing for weeks before it comes off at all.
I don't know why everyone should imagine it's so dangerous. So you're far more likely to kill yourself driving down the main street of the town.
Bet I'd be a great deal more easy in my mind if I knew you were driving down the main street of the town.
Ellen, if you get a telegram tomorrow, it will read, "You were right. Broke me neck at 4:30, signed Harvey Mannion."
God forbid, it's not right to be joking about such things.
Come on. Let's have another look at the car. I didn't get a proper chance last night. A breakfast can wait, Ellen. Come on, Nora. Far too good a day to be stuck indoors. Aye, she's a grand car. She's a beauty, all right. Do you think she's a winner?
Aye. Caroline said she looked invincible.
Oh, well, she'd better be.
What good does all this motor racing do?
A lot of good. From Harvey's point of view, it's good socially. And from my point of view, it's great for business. People come from miles away to buy cars from us.
My personal guarantee is worth 10% for the firm.
Mr. Mannion?
Yes?
Mr. Murphy's here to see you.
Martha, I wonder what he's after. All right, tell him to come out here.
What's this queer-looking thing just in front of the windscreen, Harvey?
That queer-looking thing is going to win me the trophy tomorrow. Come on, get in and I'll give you a spin and show you how the whole show works.
Go on, Nora. Do you good.
But I want to talk to you, Father. It's important.
Later, girl, later. Go on now. Get a bit of colour in your cheeks.
All right, but you promise now we'll talk later.
Good morning, Tom. Morning. I say that's a powerful machine.
It is that. Well, now, Murta, what is it you want?
You say that as if you expected I'd come to borrow money.
Nothing would surprise me.
Maybe what I have to say will surprise you.
I doubt it. Now, come on over here into the shade.
Hey. What age are you now, Tom?
I'm a younger man than you by 15 years.
51, eh?
And you're 64. Take a seat.
You were always quick at the figures. Well, you've done well for yourself, Tom.
I'll do better yet.
I believe you will. You own half the town already. Against you get to my age, you should own the whole of it.
You couldn't tell. And don't forget, you had 20 years' start on it.
Oh, I'm far from denying that I'd carry advantage. A carefree youth, a good education, and I come in for the best business in the town.
Well, I had a poverty-stricken youth. And I had no education, and I had no business. I hadn't even a trade.
Oh, I'm making no comparisons at all.
No. Oh, you wouldn't compare yourself with someone from Tanyard Lane, would you?
Tom, no man has a greater respect for you than I have.
Well, I made people respect me. I made...
That's the way it is with you, Tom. I made. Everything is I made. I made people respect me. I made a hatful of money. I made myself what I am. You won't rest until you get the bishop to rewrite the catechism and admit that Tom Mannion made the world.
Well, isn't it true for me that I made people respect me?
It is not, and well you know it. You couldn't make me respect you.
Well, I could manage without your respect.
That's just the point. You couldn't. What you worked for all these years is the respect and admiration of others. There's a terrible pride in you. And where you couldn't win respect, you wanted to extort it against the grave.
Now, listen. I made my own way. I asked nothing from anyone. I could buy the rotten snobs of this town 10 times over. A bankrupt crew living on the work their fathers did before them.
God knows why you want them to acknowledge you as an equal. You ought to think yourself above them.
So I do. And that's what angers me. To think that they can look down their noses at me because of Tanyard Lane. But I have the money, and I'll break them yet.
You have a great faith in money, Tom.
I have. Money can do anything. Because I had money, I was able to marry Andrew Harvey's daughter.
You thought when you did that they'd have to acknowledge you. But they didn't, you see.
No. It wasn't an uprise for Tom Mannion. It was a come-down in the world for Tom Mannion's wife. But if I came out of Tanyard Lane, my children came out of Knockderry House. They're as well educated as the best of them. And they have the handling of money the others can't hope to equal.
Oh, I dare say you could buy us all out. 1v1.
I'll buy anything that comes on the market.
I suppose, then, you wouldn't object to making a start with my place.
I'd ask nothing better.
Well, here's your chance to do it. I'm selling out.
Selling?
Everything. That's what's brought me here. There's 6 fine modern houses at the corner of the...
Yes, I know every stick that you own. But why aren't you putting them up for auction?
I am, this day month. But you could make a private deal with Haggerty the solicitor and take the lot.
Why did you come here to tell me this?
Knowing how mad you are for property, I thought that maybe I'd get a better price for the lot out of you than selling them piecemeal on the open market.
I'll go up to 2,000 above the reserve, whatever it is.
I'll tell Haggerty to sell at that.
So you're selling out?
I'm getting on. I've had 2 serious illnesses in the past 2 years. What use is there in carrying on a business that's a burden to me?
Aye, and you've neither chick nor child to leave it to.
No, you bit me there as well.
I just don't know how you can do it.
I never enjoyed being in business. It was made when I got it, and all I did was to keep it going.
But will you not feel a great wrench breaking with it?
How I'll feel a great relief. I can't live more than 10 or 15 years. With complete freedom and every comfort, I might run it up to 20. At that, I'll still have money to leave. I'll be on my way now.
Well, I'll see you down the drive. I tell you this, I'll give you 6 months and then you'll be breaking your back to get into the business again.
Oh, you see everything through a web of gold, Tom. The more firmly you're imprisoned in the web, the better you like it.
Well, isn't that better than hating it? The way you say you've done all your life.
I never took much pleasure in the making of money.
God, man, making money is the only thing I know how to do. And I'll always want to go on making it.
Aye, that's what people don't understand about money makers. They do it because it's the only thing they know how to do.
There's satisfaction in doing what you know how to do for its own sake. I tell you what, Martin. For days after making a good deal, I have a feeling of happiness that I couldn't describe to you.
Good day to you both.
Oh, Father Mars, that you? Good day to you.
2 pillars of commerce in the one net.
I'm just on my way, Father.
No, don't be running off just because I've arrived, Murtha. But I didn't expect to see you twice in the one morning.
Oh, no, I'll be off. Mannion here will be delighted to talk to you. I suppose it's on the same business you've come to see him.
It is him. But hold on yourself till I get another crack at you.
Oh, no, not a chance of it, Father. Twice in the same day would be too much of a good thing. Here's your next victim, and don't spare him, is my advice to you.
What's all this about?
Oh, you'll know soon enough. Good morning, Father. Good morning, Father.
Good morning.
I'll tell Haggerty you'll be calling.
Come on up to the house with me, Father. I've had no breakfast yet, and I'm beginning to feel the stirrings of an appetite.
A healthy sign.
Is there something you want, Father?
There is so. A leaf out of your checkbook. I want a subscription from you, Mannion.
A subscription? A subscription for what?
For the new schools.
Why, what's wrong with the old schools?
They're a disgrace to the nation.
Well, I'll wager they're no worse than when I went to them. And they did me no harm.
They may not have done you much good either. The old schools are unhygienic and unsafe. They've been condemned.
Not by me.
You went to them. You should be among the first to condemn them. Would you like your children to go to them?
I took damn good care they didn't have to. And this is what you wanted to see me about, eh?
Yes, Father. I've been wanting to talk to you for some time.
Well, it's nonsense, girl. Nonsense. You can't be a nun.
I can try, Father, if they won't have me.
Of course they won't have you. I'll see to that. I can't have any nuns in my family. I haven't worked all my life to give you the benefit and then see you throw it away.
But the richest and greatest ladies become nuns.
I don't say they don't. And if I was thinking of letting you do it, I'd see you were put into one of the big orders, where you would be mixing with ladies and be looked up to. But I'm not. Now, what you're going to do, girl, is to make a good match and be somebody.
But I'd still be somebody if I was a nun.
You would not. You'd be one of a community and no more and no less than the one next to you. You'd wear the same clothes and look the same. You'd be under the one discipline and eat at the same table as everyone else. You'd rise at the same time as everyone else. You couldn't be your own master. You couldn't own as much as a pin. God, I'm not sure that it isn't a kind of Bolshevism. Anyway, I thought you and Michael Harney were going to make a match of it.
Michael Harney?
Aye, and what's wrong with Michael Harney? Weren't you by way of being very fond of him at one time? And he belongs to one of the best families in the town.
God help the town.
Well, if you don't like Michael Harney, you can marry anyone else you like, provided he comes from a decent background. Make up your mind who it is you want, and I'll see you provided for. But don't annoy me with all this talk about being a nun.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't...
Well, what do you want, Harvey?
Well, I thought you might like to come for a drive in the car.
I would not. I'm too busy to be bothered now. And you, Nora, I'm too busy to be bothered with your nonsense.
But, Father, we really haven't talked about it.
All right. We will have a long talk about it in a day or so. That's a promise.
Thanks, Father.
Has she been telling you she wants to be a nun?
Have you heard about it, too?
I had it for breakfast before you came down.
Do you think it's serious?
Well, from what she said, I believe she meant it.
Well, that's odd. I thought she seemed particularly happy this while back. Not moving around the place or that. I didn't see Michael Harney around here lately.
If you look out of the window, you'll see him now. He came over to have a look at the car.
Did he now? Well, I'd like to have a word with him. Yes, I'd like a word with him now. Send him in to me, will you?
All right, Father.
Your father's in now, I think, Mr. Harney.
No, he is, but he's busy.
Yes, well, I just tried me luck. Mr. Mannion, sir, excuse me.
Well, what is it? What brings you over here? Is there something wrong with the yard?
Oh, no, sir, no. It's more of a personal matter.
Yes?
Well, sir, I was thinking that times, well, maybe that times, being what they are, that is, times being hard, sir.
There's nothing wrong with the times. They were never better.
Oh, well, no, I'm glad. very glad. The people do be complaining that the times do be hard. Aye, very hard.
And they like complaining. It's easier than exerting themselves.
Aye, that's right, sir.
Do you want a drink?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, your health, sir. Oh.
Are you looking for an increase?
Well, sir...
You can't keep on getting increases. You got one last year.
I did not indeed, sir. Not just 3 years since I got one.
3 years?
Ah, yes, three, maybe 4.
Well, I could get a strong young workman for what I'm paying you.
Which you might, You might.
Well, there's no might about it, I would.
Oh, you would. I suppose you would, all right. But the one thing is, you wouldn't get someone who'd be interested.
Interested in what? Looking for increases?
Good morning, Mr. Mannion. I hear that you're looking for me.
Yes, Michael. I was. All I can earn, that's all. I think about it.
Thank you, Mr. Mannion, sir. Good morning, Mr. Harney.
That's a fine bit of a car of Harvey's. But damn it, I was saying to him, you could buy a string of racehorses for the price of it nearly. He asked me to go for a spin, but he's not intending to wait for me, I think. There he's away now.
Sit down, Michael, sit down. Now tell me this. Have you ever thought of getting married?
Huh? Oh, aye, yes. I'm time enough yet, though.
What are you waiting for?
Well, I don't know, really.
I suppose you know that daughter of mine is fond of you.
What, Nora, is it?
Oh, yes, she's fond of you.
Is that right? Sure, they're all fond of me, the girls are. Damn it, I do often be surprised.
Why not make up your mind to marry Nora?
Eh?
I said, why not marry Nora?
Aye, that's right. Only, well, I never thought about it.
Think about it now.
But that's what I'm doing. I don't know. Would she have me?
Oh, there's no one she likes better, I'd say. You're not engaged yourself, are you?
Well, no, I am not, then.
Well, what do you say, then?
Well, damn it, it's very sudden, kind of, do you know? I like Nora very well, but liking and marrying are two different things. Not that I wouldn't like her well enough to marry her, only I wasn't in a hurry, do you know?
The time to marry is when you have the opportunity to make a good match. This is your chance.
Damn it, isn't it queer the way you can get used to an idea so quick? I hadn't a notion of getting married and I coming into this room, and now, damn it, I'm strong for it. Strong. I was thinking 10 years up would be time enough, and now I'm near lepping to put the bands up.
She'll bring you £7,000. You can see your father if he's agreeable. I'll get my solicitor to fix it up.
7,000, you said?
Is that not enough?
Well, it's generous. Damn it, it's damn generous.
But you must see your father at once.
I will. Oh, he'd be agreeable to that, I'd say. That's a fair settlement.
Well, I'd like you to see Nora as soon as possible. I'd like this thing settled.
Is that so?
Oh, it may take you a bit of time to come round, Nora. She has notions of being a nun.
Oh, is that it?
That's it. You may have to do a share of cooks.
Oh, leave that to me. I'm well used to that end of the business. I dare say you could spring another 1,000 if I could get her consent right away.
Very well, if you can manage that. 8,000.
You can tell your solicitor to draw up the settlement right away. I'll be back as soon as I've seen the old fella.
Ellen, come here, will you? I have a job for you.
What was it, sir?
Is Cairns about, do you know?
Oh, dear, I'm sure he is, sir, round about the garden.
Well, tell him to take this note to Hegarty, the solicitor. He's to ask Mr. Hegarty to call here at once about the purchase of Myrtles and to draw up a marriage settlement.
A marriage settlement,
The very
sir?
thing, Ellen. There's a bit of news for you now. It'll give the people in this town something to talk about.
Who's getting married to who, sir?
That's a bit of news you'll have to wait
Yeah,
on.
sir.
Off with you now.
Mr. Mannion, sir.
Oh, there you are, Cairns, the very man. I was just about to send for you.
Mr. Mannion, I must...
All right, you have it without the asking. I'll tell Hamlin to put another 10 bob in your packet.
Tom! It's not that. It's Mr. Harvey.
What?
Mr. Harvey. It's Joe Gargan's young one. Trying to avoid her he was and struck the corner of the bridge. Travelling very fast he was.
Joe Gargan's young one. From the Tanyard.
From the Tanyard, sir. Mr. Harvey's dead.
Ah, that's better. Oh, yes, yes, indeed. Oh, there you are, Nora. Miserable sort of day, and that. Fearful business, and that. Fearful. Terrible sort of hangover you get after a funeral.
Yes, I suppose so.
Yes. Oh, yes, terrible. You know, I always thought that Harvey would continue to be one of the pillars of society long after I drunk myself to death.
I'd be glad if you weren't flippant just now, Philip.
Oh, sorry, no intention of being flippant, I assure you. Well, I liked old Harvey. Of course, he helped to get me kicked out, but I've forgiven him.
You were his brother.
I'm sure he forgive me that. Hard on us both, naturally. Of course, we can't choose our relatives. No, pity. Look here, if I take a drink, you won't tell Father, will you?
No, if you stop at that.
Oh, promise, thanks. Of course, I've given it up, you know. I'm only taking this because of the emotional circumstances and feeling a bit overwrought and that. Oh, yes, I haven't touched it for ages. Peculiar thing, the way one's emotions become governed by drink. You probably think I'm a bit callous about poor old Harvey. Nothing of the kind, though. It's just that at the present I'm in the parched and arid stage. No vivacity. A few more, though, and I should be quite merry.
I do hope you won't get drunk and fall down in public as you did the last time you were home.
Ah, yes, but that was the time. Look at the amount of practice I've had since then. Oh, I never fall down now. I'll never drink, of course. I found that when you reach a certain stage of intoxication, you can begin studiously to drink yourself into a state of sobriety. It's all a matter of watching when you reach the stage
Philip, I'm not really interested in the technique of drunkenness.
No, I suppose not. Still, it's very interesting.
When do you expect to be going away again?
I have no intention of deserting the family in this emergency. I am here to help.
You seem to be here to drink.
Not primarily. After all, I can drink anywhere. But I must admit that this house provides good facilities. Much better than where I was last.
Where were you last?
My dear. You would be surprised. Indeed, I may say horrified. Well, il desperandum. By the way, I didn't see Veronica today.
I don't think she's out of bed yet.
She'd better not wear out her welcome. Of course, I've no doubt that it was worn out before she arrived. But then I suppose I'm in the same boat as far as that's concerned. We shall just have to wait our expulsion with fortitude. Hail and farewell sort of thing. The old fellow looks badly shaken, doesn't he? However, that bit of an indoor batter that he went on the last few days won't do him any harm. Quite the contrary. But he was steady enough this morning. Of course, the great thing is to know when to stop.
Are you quite sure you've given up the drink, Philip?
Oh, quite. Had to, you know. No option. Every mouthful I took was killing me. Simply killing me by inches. Short ones, you know. Nips. In fact, I used to call them inches. Give me another couple of inches, I say. Used to make the bar fellows roar. No joke, really, of course. Actually, very serious. Callous sort of fellows, barmen.
Philip, that's the fourth you've had.
Never. Good God. Well, that's another thing about drink. It affects your memory. Oh, yes. 5 minutes after I've taken a drink, I couldn't remember it. And then I'd take another and forget that, and so on. Vicious circle the whole time. Health, memory, everything else. Frightening. Well, here's the last today.
I hope it is.
Oh, yes. Solemn promise.
One of the reasons I sent for you, Philip, is that I thought you might be able to help Father. You see, I shall be going away.
How do you mean, going away?
I'm going to be a nun.
Good God. Well, you can't mean it.
Of course I mean it.
Good Lord. I shouldn't advise it. Actually, I shouldn't advise it. Now, my advice is not to allow yourself to rush into things, into anything. Think things over beforehand.
You seem surprised, Philip.
Mr. Haggerty's solicitor's on the phone and is wanting to speak to Mr. Mannion. Would you speak to him?
Certainly, Ellen.
Ellen, just a minute.
Yes, sir?
Do you know that you're looking much better than when I saw you last? Yes, much improved indeed.
Would you think that, sir?
Oh, yes, definitely, definitely.
Lot says I'm failing, but you'd notice.
Oh, no, you're not failing. Oh, no, indeed. Definitely improving. Ellen, I want you to lend me 10 shillings for about 10 minutes.
Well, I don't know now that I should...
Just for 10 minutes, that's all. Oh, yes. Yes. A note if you have it. Oh, thanks. Thanks so much. I shall be no time gone. I'm just going for a nip, to nip down to the post office. Have to meet a chap there. Very important it is.
Miss Nora.
Yes, Ellen, what is it?
Mr. Michael Harney to see you, miss.
To see me?
Yes, miss. Important, he said it was.
All right, then. Show him in.
You have to go on in, Mr. Harney.
Good morning, Nora.
Hello, Michael. Come in.
I just thought I'd call in to tell you how sorry I was about Harvey. We were great friends, you know.
I didn't know that, Michael.
Oh, aye, we were that. Though it's a great pity he didn't go in for horses. Still, you could get a bad fall from a horse, too.
Yes, I suppose so.
Oh, aye. I put my shoulder out March 12th, and it's not right yet.
Isn't it?
No, and it's my belief it'll never be.
Oh.
The black suits you very well.
What's that?
The black. That's the dress you're wearing. You should always wear black.
Yes, I shall be doing so in the future.
Because of being in mourning?
No, not altogether.
Aye. Well, it suits you very well. You look topping in it. Better than I ever saw you look. Excepting you're looking a bit pale. Shocking bad weather, isn't it?
Yes, very bad.
Oh, damn it, you know, it's awful. The rain is that wet. I'm breaking in a young filly and I can get no further with it. It's like a bog, the fields are. The weather, you know.
I know.
I like the way you have your hair done down the middle.
Down the middle?
Aye. Parted. Tell us, do you know that song? Parted.
No, I don't.
Oh, it's a grand thing. Dearest, our day is over. Ended the long, long day. Do you not know it? Dearest, our day is over. Ended the long, long day. Sure, you must know it.
No, I don't.
Damn it, sure. I thought everyone knew that. Still, I shouldn't be singing in this house, should I?
No.
No. I was forgetting myself. It's a very nice song, but it's sad, you know. You see, there's these two, and they're parted. You must go back to your life, and I must go back to mine. Those are the words of the song. They're separated. It's very sad. Wouldn't you feel awful being separated from somebody? Somebody you're fond of, I mean. I'm terrible fond of you, Nora.
Of me?
Aye. You didn't know that? Well, that's a fact. Damn it, you know, I'm wild about you. Aye, wild daft.
You're joking.
I'm in deadly earnest.
But you can't be. It's ridiculous. Whatever put this idea into your head?
Oh, I don't need anyone to put ideas into my head. I'm well able to do that for myself. Now, wouldn't we be a good match for one another?
I'm going to be a nun, Michael.
Aye, I know that, but...
How did you know?
Well, I heard it.
Where did you hear it?
Well, no, you know the way a thing goes round. And it was hearing that spurred me on, like. I didn't like the idea of you being a nun and wasting yourself, like.
But I wouldn't be wasting myself.
Well, I mean, in a way.
You better forget all about this, about being fond of me.
But I'm in dead earnest about this.
So am I, in dead earnest.
Not even with me asking you to marry me.
Not even then, Michael.
I can't imagine it. Damn it, you know, I thought girls only went in for being nuns when they found there wasn't a husband to be got.
That seems to be a very widespread misapprehension.
You know, I wouldn't go rushing in to be a nun if I was you. I'd give it a second thought. After all, you can be a nun any time. But it's not every day you have a chance of marrying.
There's a lot of comfort in that thought, Michael.
Now, I think you'll change your mind.
No, I won't do that.
You won't?
No.
Damn it, you know, this is a terrible setback to me, a terrible setback.
I'm very sorry, Michael.
And it's a big loss to me, too.
Oh, you only think that. It shan't be a loss to you.
Well, I don't know about that. The money will be a big loss to me.
What money?
Well, your father was being very generous about it. He was for making us a very good settlement.
I understand.
So you see, it's a very big loss to me.
It can't be helped, Michael.
Probably mean I'll have to cut down and sell the 3-year-old. And I was going to call her after you, too.
You can still do that. I won't mind.
And your father won't be a bit pleased either, I'd say. And my old fellow will go mad. He was very pleased over it. It's a big responsibility on you.
Responsibility?
Well, it's upsetting a lot of plans. After all, you have to consider more than yourself in this world. You can't be too selfish. I'm thinking of my old chap and your father and you as well. And you're only thinking of yourself. Now, that's very selfish. I don't think you were cut out to be a nun at all. Now, take care now. You're not making a great mistake in thinking of being a nun. My opinion is that you're far too selfish to be a nun.
You're wrong there, Michael. I'm far too selfish not to be a nun.
Look, I tell you what. I'll give you a couple of days to think it over. Now, there's no hurry. My opinion is that you'll change your mind.
No, Michael, I won't change my mind.
No, I won't give up. I won't take no for an answer. I'm determined. Now, you'll think it over, won't you?
I probably shall.
Nora, I do hope I'm not intruding. Oh, you're Michael Harney, aren't you?
This is my sister Veronica, Michael, Mrs. Hogan.
Ah, sure, I remember you. Sure, don't I know you from the time you were no bigger than myself?
Yes, indeed. What a good memory you have.
Well, I'll be off with myself. Excuse me now.
I hope I didn't frighten him away. But he seems as stupid as ever.
He's quite a good sort, really.
Yes, I suppose so. Kind to animals and that sort of thing. Oh, it seems so strange to be back home again. I'm glad that you sent for me, Nora. Now that I'm back, I wonder I'd ever the heart to leave here. Not that I ever wanted to.
You don't regret having married Jack, do you?
Oh, no. But, of course, I do regret that dear Jack is so very unfortunate and being so often out of work. It's so awful having to scrape and manage all the time. Oh, I can scrape all right, but I never seem to be able to manage. It'd be so wonderful if only Father would give Jack a chance. And now that poor Harvey's gone...
Oh, hello. You're still here.
Why shouldn't I still be here?
I suppose you're all packed and ready to leave?
Are you packed?
Me? I've nothing to pack. Anyway, I'm not in a hurry, and you are.
You seen Father this morning, Nora?
And what do you want to see Father for? My advice to you is not to bother Father.
I shall please myself about that. How very pale you look, Nora. It's really dreadful the way a death can upset things. I really don't know what I'm doing here still, and yet I can't go away and leave everything so upset, and I really ought to.
Why don't you?
I got another telegram this morning from Jack. Oh, he's so helpless without me. But, of course, all men are like that, aren't they?
There's nothing to keep you now, and if Jack needs you so badly...
No, I can't go. It'd be cruel to go and leave you all here in this terrible state. So upset and everything.
But I'm not upset. Well, not too upset. I have a good deal of fortitude, I may say.
You were always able to endure other people's troubles with fortitude. It's Father I'm worried about. Of course, when you're gone...
When you're gone?
Well, you're going too.
Not if I can help it.
But Father probably won't need you.
He certainly won't need you.
Nor you. He has Nora.
Nora is leaving to become a nun.
Please don't say you think I'm insane.
Insane? Oh, I think you're splendid. I'm sure, only for dear Jack, that I'd have become a nun, too. Well, of course, I shall have to stay now.
And what about poor Jack is so helpless without you?
Poor Jack, yes. Well, I could wire him his fare to come over, couldn't I?
I suppose you couldn't lend me £1 for about 10 minutes, could you?
No, I haven't a penny.
Then how could you wire money to Jack?
Well, I thought perhaps Nora would lend it to me. Would you, Nora?
I haven't any money, Veronica. I never have. I don't bother to ask Father for money. I get them to send him a bill for any little thing I buy.
Jack could be such a help to Father. He's so good at things. He could take the whole weight of business from Father.
He needn't bother. I shall be helping Father in the future.
You just want to stay here and loaf and get into Father's good graces. Perhaps you think you'll come in for all his money.
I happen to be the eldest, next of kin and so forth.
Please, you shouldn't go on like this. Aren't you ashamed, both of
Well,
you?
he's insulted me, belied me. I never think of myself, always of others. But you'll not get rid of me as easily as you think. I'll stay here.
Are you two still here? Why haven't you come back to London?
Father, dear, I won't leave you. My place is here with you.
Your place is in London. You'd better get the evening train.
Certainly so.
And you can take the same train.
I hadn't thought of leaving just yet, Father. As a matter of fact, I could be a very great help to you.
You could, if I intended to drink myself to death. Nora can do any looking after me that's needed.
She's leaving you, Father, deserting you heartlessly to be a nun.
You're not still at that nonsense, are you,
But
Nora?
I'll see to it that you're not left deserted. Father, I'll stay. I'll work my fingers to the bone.
Be quiet. Nora,
I'm sorry, Father, but I must go now.
Of course, if Nora's really determined, Father...
I don't need your advice. We'll talk about this later, Nora. And as for you, Veronica, you'll get your train in 2 hours, and so will you.
I'm not really in a hurry, Father.
No, but I am. I'm allowing you so much a week to keep out of this town. If you're not out of here this evening, you'll forfeit your allowance.
Oh, it's cruel, cruel. Dear Jack is patiently waiting for his chance. If you were a proper father...
I fathered enough fools without being saddled with another.
We are to blame, of course. You're not. You wanted to raise a family of snobs to spit in everybody's faces, and when it didn't work out that way, you were disappointed.
Veronica, don't.
It's no wonder that Mother hated you and that none of us would stay with you.
I'm ready to stay.
For all your money and your arrogance, you'll die without one of your own flesh and blood to give you a drink of water.
Veronica, please.
I don't care. I don't care. It's true.
Now, that's enough now. That's enough. I won't have Father insulted. How dare you make a scene?
I'll never come back. I'll never come back. Never.
That's enough, I said.
What a pair. I thought you'd given up this idea, Nora.
I didn't say I had, Father.
No, but things have changed now.
I haven't changed, Father.
Then it's time for you to change. I need you.
God needs me.
I don't think I understand that kind of talk. It doesn't mean a thing. And how do you know God needs you? It's conceit that's wrong with you. To hear you talk, you think that God was a personal friend of yours.
I've always hoped he was. What difference can it make to you if I go?
You're not going, and that's the holy all of it. Nora, do you hear me now?
Ellen, I'm sorry to disturb you, but I wonder if... but no, of course, you couldn't, could you?
Your pardon, ma'am?
Well, I was going to ask if... Oh, really, this is most degrading, humiliating, positively. Only that, well, you are almost a member of the family.
Is it me, ma'am?
But even so, it's dreadful to have to ask you. I could, of course, wait until Father came back if it wasn't so urgent.
What is it, ma'am?
£3.10.
£3.10.
The moment that Father comes in, I shall return it to you. I must write to London immediately, to my husband. A bill I overlooked. I'm so stupid about bills and money. Can you let me have notes? It doesn't really matter. I'm dreadful with money. I always think of the old proverb, a fool and his money are... Ah, in the tea caddy, how quaint. Thank you, Ellen.
I hope now I'm doing the right thing. Your father warned me about lending money to Mr. Philip. But sure, he said nothing at all about lending it to you.
No, indeed. Of course, Philip is very unscrupulous. Now, Ellen, I want you to leave this into the post office at once.
Well, I don't know that I'd be able to, ma'am. I've the lunch to get ready. But sure, I could send someone else.
No, that won't do. You see, this money has to be telegraphed.
Well, sure, Canirons can do that, ma'am. He's just out the back there. It'll be quite safe, seeing he'll have to bring back a receipt.
Very well. But you mustn't tell him who sent it.
But Sure, would he be able to read it?
He'd never be so dishonest.
Well, no, ma'am, it'll have to be read at the post office. And there's nothing to choose between them and Canirons, because everyone will have it in the long run.
All right. Well, tell him to hand it in at the post office. There'll be a shilling change. He's to keep that.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I feel very upset, Helen. I think I'll go and lie down. If Father asks where I am, tell him that... Well, tell him you don't know. Tell him I've gone out.
Hey, you. Come over here. You're to take a message to the post office.
Is that right? And, who said I'm to do that?
I'm saying it.
Well, no, I don't know that I can. I'm ferocious busy. I'm afraid that I can't oblige you.
It's not me you're obliging at all.
Running messages is no part of my engagement. Is it for the boss? No, if it's for Tom Mannion, that's a different thing. And I'll oblige you.
Look, I'm not going on my knees to you, and you needn't think it. If you won't do it, that's all right.
Well, I didn't say I wouldn't. I didn't refuse you. If it's for yourself...
It's not for myself.
It's not for yourself. And it's not for Tom Mannion. It's for Mr. Philip, then. The choir fella. Mind you, I don't like the choir fella.
Will you take it, or will you not?
Well, I will. I suppose I will.
Here.
Sure, I might as well. It'll be a stretch for me.
There's a shilling change which you're to hand back to me.
Is that right? I'm to hand it back to you. Did he say I was to do that?
Did who say?
The choir fella. Mr. Philip.
Here, give it back to me this
instant. All right, I'm going. Only I'd like to know what I'm about and what's expected of me. I don't like doing things in the dark.
You wouldn't know how, yeah. I wouldn't like to trust you.
Well, you might then. You might. I'd oblige anyone sooner than the choir fella. But if it's a case of refusing... Oh, well, now, that's another story altogether.
Well, now, Mannion, what do you want that you sent for me in such a hurry?
Well, I've a favour to ask you, Father.
Well, you're not so ready granting favours yourself, betimes.
Maybe I took you a bit short over the subscription for the schools. Here. I think this will fix it.
This cheque is for a great deal of money.
Oh, if more is needed, you'll find I won't stint you.
But a hat of money like this?
It's only the money you needed for the new schools. £250.
You'd better have it back.
Try so. Isn't my money all right?
I've nothing against it, but you're behind the times. The whole amount was subscribed the day after I saw you.
Well, there'll be subscriptions needed for other purposes.
What other purposes?
What does it matter, Father? Aren't there always subscriptions wanting?
I'm asking you, what purpose do you want this money put to?
Any purpose you wish.
Any charitable purpose?
Any purpose.
That means into my own pocket if I wish.
You'll find I won't ask for any account of what you've done with it.
This is meant to be a bribe of some kind.
Well, say that I'm feeling charitable.
I don't like this, Mannion, and I'll make no promise to grant your favour. What is it?
Well, my son Harvey's death was a great blow to me, Father.
Yes.
There's left to me now only one child that I care about.
Yes.
She has a notion to leave me to become a nun.
I see.
Well, it's not my wish for her, and I'll do all in my power to prevent it.
What is it you want me to do?
I want you to persuade her away from it. Tell her it's her right and duty to stay by me at a time like this.
Very well, I can do that. But first of all, I'm going to point out to you your right and duty in the matter. Are you quite sure that you'll be right in stopping her? That is, supposing that you can stop her.
She's the last of my children that I care about.
Could you not care enough about her to let her have her way?
Oh, it's her happiness as much as my own I'm thinking about.
Maybe she's the best judge of what's best for her own happiness. You persist in seeing things from your own point of view, Mannion. However, I'll speak to Nora and see what I can do. I can't go beyond my duty, and I make no promise that I'll succeed.
I'll be well satisfied to have you speak to her, Father.
She's in the city.
All right. I know my way around this house. I'll find her.
You didn't call by accident, did you, Father?
No. Your father gave me a ring. Said you have something on your mind that I'd be interested in talking over with you.
Yes. Well, you see, Father, I have a problem.
You wouldn't be human if you hadn't. And what's troubling you?
I want to be a nun, Father.
I see. Well, I suppose then that in 6 months or a year I'll see you starting off in your novitiate.
I must go now, Father.
Well, now, weren't you in a great haste about it?
No, I'm a whole year thinking about it. But I made up my mind a week ago. I'm sure that I have a vocation.
You may not have chosen the best time to go about it, I'm afraid. I think I must advise you not to be in any great haste about this. You're young and your life is before you. You'll not miss a few months out of it. Your father's in need of you now. It's not the same as if your brother Harvey was still living. And to lose the two of you in such a short time will come very hard on him.
In 6 months' time, or even a year, it would be just as hard.
I don't think so. He'll have had time to adjust himself, and then, indeed, your own viewpoint might have changed.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Why should you be afraid of it?
Because I know now, at this moment, that it is the most important thing of all. I know it. And if I wait, I may not be so sure in another year. A doubt of myself that I haven't now. I'd be afraid of that, Father.
You're a foolish child. Do you think that God has such a short memory that he'd forget calling you in a year if he needed you?
I might not hear it so plainly as I do now, because of closing it out from me for so long. I might think of it the same as any other thing you'll grow used to.
There's no fear of that. He'd call you in such kind you could never mistake it.
He has done, Father Maher.
Nora, it's often very difficult.
He'd never call me so clearly again. He'd never call me so clearly now if it wasn't to be now.
Your father will take this very hard. You see, in some way, the great plans he had for you are part of his own content and happiness. Indeed, now that Harvey's gone, they're all of it.
But, Father, I don't think it's happiness that I'm interested in.
What are you interested in, then?
I think it's holiness, Father.
Well, you're a good child, I'll say that for you. But you must understand, we can't all be saints, even if we wanted to. At one end of the scales you have the saint, and at the other end the scoundrel. And in between you have the vast majority of people that make up the world and keep the scales from tipping, for they're in mortal dread of them both.
But they'd choose the saints for preference if they had to.
Maybe. But saints aren't easy people to live with. And half the time while they're in the world, they're mistaken for heretics. And your father's a good man, but for holiness he has no understanding at all.
Father, I'll obey you in whatever you'll tell me to do if you'll answer me one question.
Well, what is it?
Since you won't tell me I'd be right to do it, will you tell me that I'd be wrong to do it? Tell me that I'm wrong, Father, and I won't do it.
No, I can't do that either.
Then if I'm not wrong, I'll do it.
Knowing it'll hurt him.
Oh, Father, don't you see? It's only by leaving him that I can help him at all. It's only in my prayers that I can ever help him in any way.
Well, I suppose there's nothing more I can say or do.
I don't think so, Father. And thank you for your advice.
It's a case of thank you for nothing, I'm afraid. What will I say to your father?
That you did your best and left nothing unsaid?
Well, that'll be true. Mind you, I think you'll find that he has by no means done his best to stop you yet. Let's talk a little longer before I go to see him.
Mr. Philip, sir. Mr. Philip.
Yes, Kinarans, what is it?
It's this telegram, sir.
What telegram?
The one you're sending.
Sending? I wasn't sending any telegram.
Sure, it must be your telegram, sir. Isn't your name on it?
My name? Signed to it? Show me. Where did you get this money?
Sure, wasn't that to be sent with the telegram?
Give it to me. Now, where did you get this telegram?
That's how Ellen give it to me. You're to give it to the post office, she said. But sure, the post office wouldn't take it. There's a shilling change, you see. But faith, there's a shilling short instead of too much.
Well, you can leave it with me.
You don't want me to send it?
No, I've changed my mind about it. I won't send it at all now.
It's your name is signed to it anyway. It is indeed. I'm sorry about Mrs. Hogan, sir, and her being seriously ill.
Have you been reading this, War?
No, indeed, sir. The postmistress read it out to me. Come at once, Veronica seriously ill. Signed Philip and addressed to Mr. Hogan. And sure, you're Mr. Philip.
All right, you can go.
And sure, I was all the time demanding a shilling change, and I a shilling short the whole time. I intended bringing you the change, sir. That old Ellen said she must get it, but sure, why should she get it, I said to myself. It's not as if she was coursing down to the post office and back. No, then.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, of course. Here you are.
Oh, thank you, sir. But I hope now that you don't think I was putting in for it. It was only that old Ellen, you know.
She should ask about this telegram. You may refer her to me.
I will, sir. I will indeed. Oh, she'll be making tender inquiries about the bob change, you may be sure of that. But thank you, sir. Thank you indeed.
I did everything that I could, ma'am. But I must tell you that her mind is made up. She's determined and won't be shaken.
Well, I'm just as determined, and I won't be shaken.
Would you not be better to let her have her way in this? Are you not a little selfish?
Selfish? Is she not the one that's selfish? Why else does she want to leave me at a time like this?
Well, the way it is with her, Mannion, she feels that God has called her, and it's not easy pretending that she doesn't hear.
Well, maybe God that has 1,000 million souls is more selfish than me that has but the one. If I have to fight to keep her, I'll do it.
I'll tell you this, then. You won't fight God and win.
Now, you know me for a man that never neglected his duties as if I'm not a pious man itself. I'd sooner leave God out of this, Father.
It's never safe to leave God out of your reckoning, Mannion, and that's true in this matter more than another. You have the pride of 10 men, but what use would it be to you if you had the pride of Lucifer himself? Do you not realize that this is a case in which you can do nothing?
No, I can't realize that, and I won't admit it. It would be the failure of my whole life.
Fail you will, then, for this is something you have no power against.
I have then. And if I'm put to it, I'll use it.
I've gone far to help you in this matter, Mannion. But you'll do something that's wrong if you go any further in your efforts to stop it.
I'll go to the farthest limits.
Then I must tell you this. If I thought it my duty to help you this far, I might think it my duty to help her in the future. And bear that in mind now. I'll manage to have my own way in the latter end.
I'll see you as far as the door, Father Marr.
What a really dreadful day this has turned into. Do you know, Nora, I wouldn't be surprised if I hadn't caught a slight chill. I think I'd better have a nip, just in case. Was that Father Maher I saw leaving?
Yes, he came to see me.
Oh?
Father sent for him. I think he hoped he could talk me out of it.
And did he?
No. He did his best, but I'm beyond it, I'm afraid.
Well, you know, it probably would be better if you made up your mind to stay, Nora. You'll probably have to, you know, the difficulties and that.
I haven't underrated the difficulties, Philip.
Yes, but you hadn't any money.
Money?
Yes. Well, it's always a consideration, you know. You can't get very far without it. You do realize that you will need money to become a nun, don't you?
I hadn't thought.
After all, they'll have to look after you and feed you and that for the rest of your life. And with a quiet life and that, you'll probably live forever.
I hadn't thought about money. That must sound rather silly.
No, quite understandable. A sign you've never been subjected to economic pressure, like Marie Antoinette. Somebody said, the people have no money, and she said, why don't they get credit? French Revolution.
But surely there must be some order that would take me without money. Some very poor missionary order. I wouldn't mind how hard it was. I'd like it all the more for that.
Yes, it all sounds very alluring and that, but...
It seems so strange to think that want of money would prevent me from becoming a nun.
Well, that's life, of course. It's always an anticlimax and so on. I shouldn't worry, though. There are worse things in life than not being able to become a nun.
Not for me.
You probably only think that, you know. I've been remarkably ascetic in my time. And believe me, there's nothing to it. Not enough to eat or drink, and so on. Even the bare boards with very little covering seem good after you've slept in the open for a week. You don't mind if I have another?
No.
Now, you may not realize it, but this whole business has shaken me, emotionally speaking. I need something to pull me together.
But money.
Yes. Oh, I know just how you feel. The first time I found myself in London, I was 19. I remember it quite well, that it was the first time also I found myself without money. I was standing outside Euston Station and wanted a packet of fags. I put my hand in my pocket and found it was empty. I couldn't believe it. It was like a blow. I just couldn't believe it, couldn't grasp it. Oh, I've met people who'll tell you they don't attach any importance to money, but I never met anyone who really believed it.
Ellen? God bless you, ma'am. What are you doing out of your bed? You're not half dressed. You'll catch your death.
Oh, never mind, Ellen. My father's not about, is he?
He's gone out for the last 2 hours, and he was in very poor fettle. So you'd be as well to keep out of his way if you weren't to get the rough edge of his tongue.
And Nora hasn't come back, has she?
She has not, ma'am.
It's Dublin she's gone to.
Well, she wasn't for giving away very much. All I could get out of her was that she was going as far as Dublin. She'd never run off permanent, would she, ma'am?
I've no idea.
I hope she hasn't anywhere. I'll be in for a nice time with the boss. He left me without salt for not telling him she was going. But, sure, what could I do when she warned me not to?
He didn't inquire as to where she was, I suppose.
He did not, ma'am. He seemed to be greatly took up with some business or other. But he asked me where you were, all right.
What did you say?
Well, I told him as how you'd got held up on account of Mr. Philip, and you'd missed the evening train, and...
What did he say?
He said that you were to get your heels out of this as fast as you could.
Oh.
A very bad humour he was in, ma'am. You look very well this morning, ma'am.
Well, I'm dying.
You're never serious, ma'am. Hey, you look all right, mind you.
What have looks got to do with it? I feel terrible, terrible. I'm going to be ill, very ill.
Maybe you shouldn't be out of bed at all, ma'am.
No, I shouldn't. But I had to come down. That telegram I sent yesterday, I haven't received any reply to it. Are you sure Cairn sent it?
Well, I gave it to him, ma'am, and he went off with it. But I never seen him for the rest of the day after that.
Very strange. Surely he'd never have forgotten to send it.
I wouldn't imagine it, ma'am. He's a terrible old idiot, but he's no fool at the same time. I find out for certain, ma'am.
Do, Ellen, do. It's most important, most important. Well, I'm going back to bed now. If anyone should ask, say that I'm ill, dangerously ill.
Will I send for the doctor, ma'am?
Oh, yes, do. And bring me up some breakfast before he comes. I feel terribly feverish.
Well, if it's feverish you are, ma'am, you won't want to eat. Feed a cold and starve a fever is the rule.
Well, a cold is what I have, of course. A feverish cold or a coldish fever. I'm not sure which.
I send for Dr. McGrath.
No, not him. The other man would be best. Dr. Gordon.
Sure, he's hopeless, ma'am. He wouldn't know the difference between tuberculosis and ingrown toenails. Sure, no one ever sends for him.
Nevertheless, I would prefer him. Now I'm going back to bed. Don't tell anyone I've been down. And send me up a good breakfast, won't you?
Yes, ma'am. And the doctor after it. There you are. Listen here to me. Did you leave that message to the post office yesterday?
Message?
Aye, message. Don't be letting on to be thick. It doesn't suit you.
Well, no, I do have a lot of things on my mind from time to time. I can't be remembering penny messages.
Shilling messages, if you don't mind.
Eh? Yes, I remember the one you mean.
Well, did you send it?
No, then I didn't. I give it back to the sender. Aye, the sender.
To Mrs. Hogan?
No, to Mr. Philip.
To Mr... Oh, my God.
A very decent man, let me tell you. Oh, very decent. I hear he was crooked drunk last night.
And why wouldn't he be crooked drunk and he after drinking the proceeds of my month's money that he stole from Mrs. Hogan?
How could he steal your wages from Mrs. Hogan? That's a very idiotic statement. Very idiotic.
You old fool, you and your idiotics. Why did you give it to him?
Why wouldn't you give it to him and his name signed to it?
I never see a penny piece of it back. Why didn't I go to the post office with it myself? Why did I lend it at all? Oh, wait till she hears this. That's not one doctor she'll want, but two of them.
Oh, there's twisting going on somewhere. Aha, twisting. Sure isn't the world full of twisters? Aye, full up with them.
Ah, there you are, Father. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
You are.
It's just that I wanted to say how very much I regret Veronica's disgraceful outburst yesterday. Very much. However, if you leave the matter in my hands, I promise you that she will leave on the evening train.
Do. And make sure you're on it yourself.
Father, I appeal to you as man to man and that. To absolutely turn me adrift, as it were, and to cast me out would be a grave error, a very grave mistake.
To allow you to stay here would be an even greater mistake.
No, believe me, it would not. My wholehearted services from this time forward shall be devoted to, and in fact, absolutely devoted.
Now, I warned you to be out of here by this evening, that's all.
Very well. My last appeal has been summarily, and even summarily dismissed. I have done my best, and I leave without malice, and even without malice.
So long as you leave, I don't mind which way you do it.
It's unfair, I may say. I must protest, really, that it is unfair, bitterly unfair. But, of course, I must bow and that. The fare to London will be £3, 4 and 9pence, first class.
So you travel first class, do you?
Oh, yes, invariably, and invariably. My own fare and Veronica's would amount to £3, 4 and 9pence, 6, 9, 6, 7, 10, and let us say for expenses, £10 will cover the lot, roughly speaking.
Very roughly speaking. But speaking a little more gently and a little more accurately, it will cost £6, 9 and 6pence first class.
Oh, yes, £6, 9 and 6pence. Very good. Well, we must hurry to catch the train. Obey your wishes. If you let me have the £6, 9 and 6pence notes, if possible, I can be getting along.
Do you think I'm a fool?
No, indeed, but...
Now, what did you do the last time I gave you money to go to London?
Well, I suppose I went to London.
You suppose wrong. You went as far as the corner house and got drunk. You were sleeping it off for 2 days after.
Oh, well, regrettable, most regrettable, discreditable, really. Yes, I admit it. But, of course, I have reformed.
You'll give this note to the booking clerk at the station, and he'll supply you with 2 tickets. You can draw your allowance in London tomorrow.
Oh, really, this is humiliating, Father. Definitely humiliating. The booking clerk, Nolan, he'll think that... I mean, it really looks as if you didn't trust me, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh, well, sorry to go this way and to... Well, I hope to be of service in the altered conditions. Your decision, of course, not mine. No, indeed. I regret deeply and deeply regret. Well, goodbye, Father. Oh, well, goodbye.
Ellen, have you seen Miss Nora this morning? What are you doing with that tray?
I'm taking it up to Mrs. Hogan, sir. It is her breakfast.
Breakfast? And what time of day is it for breakfast? From the look of that tray, she's having everything but supper.
She's not feeling well, sir.
Well, what's the matter with her?
I don't rightly know, sir.
Does she look ill?
Well, she had a class of a wild look in her eye, and she was talking very queer. And she said if she wasn't actually ill at the moment, she had a feeling on her that she was going to be ill in a minute.
Well, after she's eaten that breakfast, I suppose. Well, if she wants something to eat, let her come down for it.
How'd you manage that, sir? Sure, she's not fit to come down if she's ill.
She won't be fit to eat that breakfast if she's ill. Tell her she may stay in bed until the hunger drives her out of it. And do as I say now. By the way, what's that case of liquor doing here?
You ordered it this morning, sir.
My God, I should have had more sense. Send word over to the shop that liquor is only to be supplied to the house on my personal order.
I will, sir.
Ellen, have you... Oh, there you are, sir. I was on my way to find you. The postmistress is after giving me this telegram, and I...
Here, give it here to me. Hey, this isn't for me, it's for my daughter.
Oh, sir, she was...
Yes. Now, what do you know about this?
I think so. She was waiting on an answer to her telegram.
What telegram?
She gave me a telegram yesterday to send, and I gave it to this fella here. It was addressed to her husband in London with £3 of my money along with it.
But how could it be an answer to that? Sure, didn't I give it back to Mr. Philip?
What was in it?
It was asking her husband to come over here, sir. But sure, I smelled a rat from the minute. Give that telegram back to me, I said, when the postmistress had read it out. How do I know, I said, does my boss want this sent at all? What would he want bringing that blind beggar Hogan over from Creasy Street?
That's enough. That's enough, do you hear? Why didn't you bring it straight to me?
Sure, isn't that the very thing I was doing, sir? Only for having the misfortune to meet Mr. Philip.
Go upstairs and tell my daughter there's a telegram for her. That'll bring her down all right.
Would I not bring it up to her?
Do as I tell you.
Yes, sir.
I'll be in the sitting room.
This is cruel, Father. You drag me from my bed with no more compunction than if I were a sick dog.
Here's your telegram.
Oh, you'll be sorry for this. You'll deeply regret it.
I don't think so.
But this is not from my Jack. It's from Nora.
Who?
It's from Dublin.
Nora isn't in Dublin.
She is.
When did she go?
Yesterday.
Well, why wasn't I told? Nobody told me.
Now, that's it. You had to be told. You never have noticed. You never have missed us. You never wanted us. All you wanted was to be rid of us. It's cruel, cruel.
Don't make a fool of yourself. What did she say in that wire?
Tell Father I'll be back today.
I see. Well, that's all right then. And as for yourself, I have given Philip a note to the station clerk, and he will issue you tickets to London.
Oh.
It's now 2:00, which gives you 20 minutes to go to the station. I'll have your luggage sent after you.
You'll turn me out like a beggar.
No. There'll be a cheque for £20 sent to your address in London. But out of here, you're going now.
Sorry, Miss Nora has just come back and Father Mar along
My
with her.
pride would not allow me to stay here a moment longer. I leave this house for the last time. I warn you, Father, I shall never return. Never.
I'm very glad to hear it.
Good day, Mrs. Hogan.
Good day, Father. I don't think that...
My daughter Nora, is she with you, Father?
Yes, Mannion. I'd like to have a word with you before you see her.
She'd no right going off and causing me a lot of anxiety.
She seemed to think that you wouldn't notice her absence.
It wasn't until 10 minutes ago that I heard that she'd gone.
Well, in that case, you didn't suffer any very protracted anxiety. Now, this check you gave me. I want your permission to use it for a certain purpose. Will you let me give it to Nora as a dowry, as coming from yourself?
No, I'll be damned if I will.
Maybe. You remember the money's mine to do as I liked with?
Not to do this with. Oh, no. Do you think I'm a fool to provide a rope for my own hanging?
Ask yourself that question.
Well, it was for the contrary purpose I gave it.
Now we have it. It was intended as a bribe, as I thought. Now, won't it be the price of you, Mannion, if you have provided the rope for your own hanging? Won't it be good enough for you if I turn your bribe into your daughter's dowry?
You wouldn't do it.
What's to stop me from doing it?
The fact that I'm her father, and I won't give my consent.
The hand of God is on your child, Mannion. And you'll not try to put it aside without doing spiritual violence to her, and to yourself as well. Here's the check you gave me. Pass it on to her with your blessing.
By God, I won't.
There it is for you, then. And much good may it do you. You gave it to me for a bad purpose, and I was willing to put it to a good one. But since you're not willing to have it that way, I'll not dirty my hands with it. You're a nail to your gift, Mannion.
No.
Yes, you're free to put it to any use you like, was what you said to me. Am I free to do that? Will you tell me?
I can't prevent you.
You can, and well you know it. I tell you to your face, Mannion. You've no word.
I'll take that from you, Father Marv, but I wouldn't take it from another.
I'm asking no favour of you. And I repeat what I've said. You've no word.
You're the first that ever said it.
Then you went too late in the day without hearing the truth. I'm sorry, Mannion. But you did me an injustice. Offering me money knowing at the same time what was in your mind.
If I did, it's my turn to ask your pardon.
Would you never do as I'm asking you? You can write another check.
I'm content to have things as they are.
You're a hard man. You've beaten her, and she won't be able to leave you. That's what you think, isn't it?
She'll not go far without money.
She will, then. She'll go the length of Africa. It's not half an hour since she came to me to tell me that one of the African missionary orders have accepted her as a probationer.
My God. My God. Is there no way I can stop her?
Isn't it a strange thing that you don't know the answer to that question even yet?
I do. I suppose that I may only give my consent. What sort of a family was it that I reared at all? Well, no matter. Whatever is needed, I'll pay it. Only let her go into one of the big orders and...
She's waiting outside. I'll call her. Nora, child, come here. Well, I've been talking to your father here, and I'm glad to tell you he's come round to your way of thinking.
No, I've done nothing of the kind.
All right, so. You've agreed to recognize that everyone can't think alike, and that's just as good. Nora, he's willing to withdraw his opposition and give you his blessing to your venture.
I'll give no blessing. I'll give what money is needed.
Well, coming from you, that's as good as a blessing. You do the paying, and I'll do the blessing. Every man to his trade.
Oh, Father, I'm so glad.
Well, now, let's see. We have to decide what order you're to go in for. Now, if you ask me...
But I've already decided that, Father. I told you that I'd been accepted for the African mission.
But there isn't any need for you to do that now.
Your father's willing to give you a dowry that will enable you to enter the most exclusive order, Nora.
Will you give me a dowry for the most exclusive order, Father?
Yes.
That would be splendid. The African missions need money very
Oh,
badly.
my God.
What's wrong, Father?
Will you tell her what's wrong, Father Mar?
Nora, why do you suppose that your father gave his consent? It was so that you wouldn't have to take up a life of extreme hardship, for which perhaps you're not suited. The contemplative orders...
But I'm more energetic than contemplative, Father. I never wished to escape out of the world into comfortable serenity. If I'd wanted comfort, I could have had that here.
But because you've always had it, you despise it.
Yes, Father, I suppose that's true. All my life I've listened to talk of money. Money, 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 till I hate the sound of the word. What I want most of all is to go somewhere that I never hear the sound of the word again.
Mr. Mannion, Mr. Hegarty's on the phone. Tell him it's about Murtis, he said, and it's urgent.
What? Oh, yes. Right, I'll come at once. You'll excuse me.
Does he realize at all that you're leaving here today? At once?
At the present time, Father, he doesn't realize anything in the world exists except the importance of buying out some new property. I'm glad in a way. I hate farewells.
I don't know what to say. You're the most extraordinary family that ever lived. Ah, well, I can do no more for you now, Nora.
You did a great deal for me, Father. And thank you for your advice.
Nothing at all. I have a feeling that you'll do great things. That I'll be boasting to people that I knew you. Well, goodbye, Nora. And good luck.
I'll come to the door with you, Father.
One single judge. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's all right. Now, come on. You'll be all right now.
Well, of course I'm all right. Who says I'm not all right? Who says so?
Oh, no one's saying a word to you. Not a word. You're grand. You're grand.
All I want is a chance. Never had a chance. Give me a chance. I protest. I appeal to a democratic institution. The right of man, and that every man has a sacred and infeasible and an inalienable a right. Every man must live. I appeal. Philip Harvey Mannion appeals for a solitary chance. Who'll give Philip Harvey Mannion a chance?
Sure, isn't that what we're all looking for, a chance? Sure, the half of us never gets a dog's chance. Not a dog's chance. And if we did itself, we wouldn't know what to do with it.
You're drunk. You don't know what you're talking about. You're drunk.
For the want of it. Oh, opportunity's a fine thing.
That's it. Opportunity. What we need is opportunity, and opportunity.
What the hell is this?
Oh, it's all right. Oh, quite all right, Father. I can explain everything. I had to assist a very old friend. An obligation, I may say. Excuse me.
How did this happen? How did he come to miss the train?
Oh, he was in time for the train, all right, sir. And he collected his tickets at the office, he collected the tickets, all right.
Well?
And Mrs. Hogan got on the train.
Most unfortunate occurrence. We'll leave tomorrow without fail.
There was about 10 minutes to wait before the train going out. Mr. Philip was on the platform, and he got into chat with a labouring boy that was crossing to London. And when the train was due for leaving, I was expecting Mr. Philip to board it. But he didn't. It went without him.
But how did he get into this state? I give him no money.
Well, that's what I was wanting to tell you. From what I can make out, the labouring boy got us 2 first-class tickets for 30 bob. Himself and his buddy has gone sailing off to London in the best of style and comfort.
I must protest. Unfortunate youth with no resources whatsoever. Very old friend. Had to give him his chance. Every man needs his chance. One single solitary chance. It's not much.
Oh, the trouble with my children is that they're either too good or no good.
Children, the curse of this country. Sure, I'm the very same myself. Educating them up to be useless. Aye, useless. Well, what'll I do with them, sir?
Do with them? What could anyone do with them? Look at him.
I assure you most solemnly, I very much regret it. All I ask is a chance, a solitary chance. My best service shall be devoted and absolute devoted.
Do you know what's puzzling me, sir? There's Mrs. Hogan gone sailing off to London and her with no ticket. You never know but you'd get arrested by the railway company for offences against the bylaws.
Father! Father!
Good God.
But what could I do, Father? I'd no ticket and they wouldn't allow me to travel. I was ordered to leave the train. It was all terribly humiliating. I didn't want to come back, but...
All right. You're back now, and I suppose you might as well stay back.
Father!
Oh, I give up. Send for your husband, and he can have a job in the garage, and there's a house I can let you have. But by God, he'll work, I'm telling you.
He will, Father, he will.
There's only one thing more I'll ask you to do for me. Get rid of that thing, your brother. Get rid of him out of my house.
One single chance.
Yes, Father. I think I can do that. Can I have a bottle of whiskey?
What the devil for?
For Philip.
Ah, he's had too much already.
Oh, no, but he's going to have. I'm going to send him to Dublin by the car, and by the time he wakes up, he'll be on his way to Holyhead. He'll have no money in his pocket, and he won't be able to pay his fare back. He'll have to go to London, whether he likes it or not.
Oh, Joe. I think maybe you're the one I need here, after all.
Oh, yes, Father. Come on, I'll come with you, and you can get me the whiskey.
Well, a day. Oh, queer goings on. Aye, indeed. I wonder now... why not?
What was that? Oh, yes, a drink. Good. Yes, I'll join you. I'll join you. Can... What's this, your name, is it?
Mick, sir.
Oh, yes, of course it is, Mick. Well, Mick, give me a couple of inches.
Right, sir. Hold out your hand. What's it? Oh, watch out, sir. You're spilling it.
Let it spill. Libation to the inexorable gods. Harvey's dead. Nora's gone to the foreign missions. No one left to hold the fort except me. A prisoner in the hands of the Philistines. What are you laughing at?
Nothing, sir. Oh, nothing at all. Oh, no, I was just thinking there. You don't have to be Tom Mannion to be born in Tanyer Lane and end up drinking whiskey in Knockderry House. Your very good health, Mr. Philip.
That was The Money Doesn't Matter, written by Louis Dalton and adapted to radio by Dennis Hawthorne. The part of the father, Tom Mannion, was played by Harold Goldblatt, his daughter, Veronica, by Margaret Darcy, his son, Philip, by Louis Ralston, his other son, Harvey, by John Keenan, his daughter, Nora, by Denise McKenna. Mrs. Kincella was played by Elizabeth Begley, John Matter by John McBride, Father Marr by J.J. Murphy, Michael Harney by Nigel Anthony, and Mick Kennards by J.G. Devlin.
She's Not Mine, a play by Rosaleen MacDonagh.
Jane is my secretary, a lovely young one with great potential. I told her to clear the diary for the next few months because I'd have to do a particular piece of work, stressing that it was strictly confidential. She laughed. She thought I was covering up for the minister, that there was some big scandal afoot. In the middle of her smirking and laughing, I had to check her. She was taken aback. I said it was serious. Back in my office, I shut the door. The files were open, but I couldn't even bear to start reading. Down in the canteen, people were looking at me as if I got a promotion. Some big job that I should be delighted with. I didn't tell anyone how much I was dreading what they were asking me to do. 24 years in the service. 7 promotions. I was top of my game. It was no surprise to anyone that I got landed with reading the files. Others would make notes, but I'd be asked to read the most severe abuse cases. During those months, my world got smaller. The worry became bigger and bigger. The possibility, my fear, it just seemed to take over. Clarity had left me. Conscience had given way to confusion. That night, I finished work at 7 in the evening. The files were piling up. Each case was more horrific than the next. I went into a pub and ordered a brandy, then another. What I read during the day, I just felt my stomach open. Of children being starved, being beaten, raped, and God knows what. The men in the office were trying to cover it up in a subtle way, of course. They were talking about what might happen if all the allegations were true. The financial implications, the government and church. The media were onto us as well. Mel's order was implicated.
I arranged to meet her before she had a chance to start putting in calls. Vera was like that. She'd used the civil service, her position, to intimidate my secretary. The refusal by her to come to the convent made me nervous. I asked her if it was a conflict of interest, us meeting, what with the inquiry and all. She snapped, "It's not about the job, and you know that." That shut me up. This woman. I'd known her all my life. Normally I could predict her reaction to anything I said or did, but this particular day there was a different tone to her voice on the phone. She was making demands on me, letting me know she was in charge. While I was getting ready, I made speeches up in my head. Things that I've wanted to say to Vera. But I suppose I knew she had the upper hand now, and she was loving it. Oddly enough, I'm not saying I felt afraid or guilty. I had nothing to feel guilty about. That's what we told each other, those of us that were still alive. All I'm saying is that when it's someone you know, there's a different form of guilt. There's a different form of resentment. Then I thought, just for a second, I just thought, Vera, let's put our money together and just go somewhere. Take me away from all this. Be the friend to me that I was to you. Softness wasn't part of my makeup. Pulling myself together, reminding myself it was only Vera Murphy I was meeting. Who was she anyway? My brain was always bigger than hers, and she knew that. Deciding what to wear, the thought struck me that we had a strange friendship. 'Twasn't built on kindness or mutual respect. All that's too modern. That's not how we were reared. I suggested a hotel, but no, she wanted a pub after work. I'd say it was either before her first brandy or else she was building up a thirst. That's another thing about Vera. Her drinking. That's what has her the way she is. I suppose what else does she have? Though we all tried to tell her to move on. She had plenty of opportunity to get some man to marry her. But no, she was happy to live in her own misery and blame it on other people. She hid behind that job, thinking people didn't notice, or the odd glass of wine or sip of brandy. Sure, a woman like her needed it, holding state secrets in her briefcase. Now, with my coat on, heading for Dublin, Vera Murphy was the first one who made me realise it might be some time before I could wear a habit in public. Others had stopped wearing it many years ago. But I liked it. The power and prestige. In recent years, well, I have to admit people didn't hold their counsel or even hold the door open for you. But the habit, for me, whether they respected, rejected or hated me for it, when I didn't wear it, I felt naked, invisible, like I was no one. On the way to meet Vera, I pulled the car in to get petrol. The oddest thing, I found myself hiding my cross inside my clothes. The headlines on the newspapers, the radio talk shows, where do you hide? I kept thinking, if she got drunk enough, maybe she'd mellow. Slip up on something and tell me what was to come next, what the powers that be were planning. But not Vera Murphy. All she wanted to know was what I had done to Caroline. I asked her, should she not be concerned about all the children? It was in that sentence that I realised this woman was out for revenge. She asked me specific questions. I told her, you're not in a position to judge me. Again, she kept using the phrase, my daughter. I told her she didn't want her daughter 30 years ago. She would have happily killed it if it wasn't for me. Both of us knew our voices were being raised. I told Vera this wasn't the place. She said there was no place anymore for me to hide. I reminded her I hid her 30 years ago for 6 months when the bump started showing. She couldn't go back to Sligo. I told her mother, Vera's busy with work. She can't come home this weekend, Mrs. Murphy. None of this mattered now. Vera was on a roll. I told her, you can say what you like. Nobody wanted those children. We fed them, watched them and reared them. She turned to me, eyes blazing. What else did you do to them? What was so difficult about meeting in the convent?
You're lucky I'm meeting you at all. These days, you're not the most popular woman to have a conversation with.
Who the hell do you think you're talking to?
I know everything about you, Vera Murphy. And soon the world will know everything about you and your secrets.
Me and Vera Murphy relied and depended on each other. Holidays. Well, I'd no one else to go with. And it wasn't as if she had a whole lot of friends either. Italy, south of France. We did whatever we wanted to do. In the early years when I started moving up the ranks in the order, as well as the increased responsibility, I got my own freedom. I'd be a fool not to enjoy it. Look, all I'm saying is the holidays. In those early years, I had to ignore Vera Murphy's behaviour. Oh, yes, I did take a glass or two of wine. She encouraged me. And the ones back home, sure, Vera wasn't going to tell them. In later years, she wasn't too bad. The friendship with Vera Murphy, it came at a price. I'd remind her of that. And let me tell you, she would have never got to principal officer if 'twasn't for me keeping her on the straight and narrow, telling her to keep away from the drink. Well, you know a lot about secrets, don't you? You carried enough in your life. Whatever I've done, whatever they say I've done, it was a response to what women like you did.
Women like me? Mel, the world has moved on. What I did was nothing. Nothing compared to what you did.
What are you saying, Vera? The woman who didn't know which man made her pregnant? The one who had so many she didn't know what his name was? Then the one that had ideas of going to England? And you're telling me you did nothing wrong?
I didn't go to England, did I? You talked me out of that. Why? So that you could lord it over me all those years? Or so that you could punish my child for what I did? For having the life you never had? No man ever wanted you, Mel.
You've lost the run of yourself. Let me remind you that you didn't want that child. Even before you knew it was the way it was. Oh, and I hate to hurt you like this, but it was all over Sligo before you were 21. You were loose and easy. Men may not have wanted me because I wasn't like you, Vera. I wouldn't give them anything. But you gave them everything with a smile.
Like I said, the world has moved on. Sex isn't such a big sin anymore. And that's something you'll never understand or know. I'm not interested in your sanctimonious, self-righteous nonsense. Nobody is. All I want to know is, what did you do to my daughter? Oh. What did you do to my Caroline?
Your daughter. Is that how it is? After 30 years, you're calling her your daughter. I remember in that hospital you didn't even want to look at her. You didn't even come to the christening. I asked you what name you wanted. I was hoping you'd call it after your mother. But no, you had no interest in that child, let alone a name. So don't start with this my daughter nonsense. You didn't rear her, feed her, teach her how to wipe her own nose.
You've no idea. You've absolutely no idea how much you're implicated. Stop hiding behind your order and some system that even you don't believe in. Tell me what you did to her. Tell me now, Mel. Just between me and you. Don't wait for some big hearing. Just tell me what you did to my little girl.
Like I said, nobody wanted those children. We did what we had to do. Some of them were more difficult than others, and your little brat was in that category. We did the best we could. We taught them right from wrong, gave them a chance. And now, because the world has changed, we're guilty of something that wasn't expected or asked of us.
Jesus, Mel, it's me. You have to tell me. For years it crossed my mind how she was, but I couldn't ask. Why wouldn't you let me have a photograph? Do you remember all the times I plagued you? One lousy photograph. I just wanted some part of her, but you said no. No, no, no. What was that about? No system told you to do that. That was just you.
You gave her to me. She was mine, and then you were asking for her back. I wasn't going to give her to you. She was my child.
Oh, you
You gave her to me, and that's how I understood it. I said it then, and I'm saying it now. Wanting photographs, you wanted visits, all that maudlin. It wasn't going to help the child. You weren't going to take her. Your life was already made. You had no room for a daughter, let alone a daughter like her. The thing about it is, Vera, I did what was best for Caroline. I kept her away from you so as not to be confused. Is that such a bad thing? Did I do that wrong? And yes, I did it for her, not for you, Vera Murphy.
Please, Mel. A lifetime of friendship. Please tell me something more than this. Tell me you were angry, tell me you were envious, tell me you were lonely, but don't tell me that that was about love. And don't you dare say that my daughter Caroline was yours. Don't you dare.
We did our best. I did my best. And if you want to use the word love, well, that's what it was. Not the soft, stupid kind that you went looking for in a man. The kind of love we gave those children made them strong for life, made them independent, made them know their place in the world. Vera, our job was real. There was no fluffy psychology. No, we didn't go around telling them how beautiful or great they were. We taught them how to survive. There were so many of them that got unruly. And just like your father used to say, a little bit of discipline can bring you very far in life.
Jesus, you've lost it. Is that the way you rationalise it? You're not going to tell me anything, are you? There's no point. You were always like that, always right, always the smart one. Oh, the Order knew what they were getting when they accepted you.
Last weekend, the phone never stopped. Nieces I never knew I had. Nephews, pups, saying they were freelance. They wanted something off the record. Family. When they get to my age, they'll realise that family connection, it means nothing. The phone calls. Oh, I'll meet you for lunch. You and my mother were neighbours. Would you do an on-camera piece for the 6 o'clock news? Clear your name. But that's what got on my nerves. These people forget. Nobody else wanted these type of children. They weren't exactly dotes. Particularly Vera's one. Vera didn't want her own. Or she was busy making history in the civil service while we were rearing her little yoke of a daughter. Vera Murphy told me the father, whoever he was, made her do it. But I know her. She was always gamey, couldn't wait to get out of Sligo after she let all the young fellas in the area have a go on her. Oh, she'd tell you a different story. Oh, but her poor mother. We all knew Vera Murphy had to be watched. A very different woman now to what she was then. Then she followed me to Dublin. Her father had a word in the school and she got extra classes in order for her to do the civil service exams. But the rest of us didn't have fathers that could have words with the nuns. She brags about being one of the first women to join the civil service, all the bragging. Well, she was always loose, in every way, going into men's roles as well as their beds. Oh, that was another thing about Vera. Right up until the day her mother and father were buried, she bad-mouthed them. They did all they could for her. We met a couple of times in Dublin when she followed me up first. She was ashamed of me. because I was a novice. What are they going to do to me? What's going to happen? What are they saying? Each day, each night, I'm losing bits of myself. Bits of my memory. Bits of dignity. You know me, Vera. Over the years, I never asked much of you. Now, I'm asking, please.
You really are afraid, aren't you? They were afraid too. But you went after them, you picked on them, you bullied them. And now you're asking me to help you. Mel, I can't. It's over. It's over for us. And it's over for you.
The idea was we'd mess with disabled girls. Not in a bad way. Mess is the wrong word. I would have never even looked at girls like Caroline. Part of the package of mainstream education, you tend to look down on other disabled people. Well, apart from the lads I played sport with. Sport was different. That was pride. Caroline, at that party, there was a crowd of them, young ones. The music had stopped playing. They were all asking her to sing, and she did. Dance Me to the End of Love. It was a Leonard Cohen song. I never heard it before. Then she sang another one. Sean started making his moves on her. She wasn't having any of it. I remember he wanted to get off with her. Caroline seemed to hold her body back and get really afraid. Sean kept trying. I said, "Man, she's not into it. Leave her alone." Looking at Caroline, I asked, "Are you all right? How are you getting home?" They were waiting for her. Instinctively, I went over to the car with her. In silence, she just got into the front seat. Her friends were laughing at Sean. He was passed out in my doorway. I waved at Caroline. The other girls waved at me. She just put her head down as the car sped away.
A hotel probably would have been better. I just didn't know what.
Here's fine. I didn't want to meet you. Brian made me do it.
I'm sorry. The letters, they weren't enough.
You never wrote when I was small. I would have loved a Christmas or a birthday card.
I did send them. I sent them to Mel.
She never gave them to me. I used to hate my birthday. It reminded me I'd no one.
The 15th of August, 1980.
30 years of not knowing you, and now you show up. I can't hold it any longer. I'm boiling mad with you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for upsetting you. This is not how I wanted it.
How did you want it? What do you want? What can I give you?
I'm not sure what I want. I was hoping maybe we could start out being friends, get to know one another. I know I can't fill the gap, but I want to have some sort of relationship.
See, this is the problem. All my life, people like you talking down to me.
I'm not talking down to you. Please, I wouldn't do that.
What did you expect? All this... Your letters, you interrupted my life, and now I feel you're trying to take over again. You've the same way as Mel has.
Oh, Jesus, please don't say that. I'm not like Mel. I'm nowhere near like Mel. You have to trust me.
You're asking someone that you shoved into an institution to trust you. And then you're asking me to trust that you're not like Mel. trust a woman that didn't want me. Can you not see what you're doing?
Oh, trust is the wrong word, but I don't know what other word to use. I'm trying to explain. I'm not like Mel.
Nobody can be like Mel. She's one of a kind.
I need to explain something. Something that's bigger than the both of us. It's about the report. Remember, I mentioned it in my letters.
I'm not talking about any of that stuff. And don't try and make me talk or catch me out with your fancy words. If that's what you're expecting, it won't happen.
If you don't tell me, you'll have to tell someone else. There'll be a team of people put together. Judges, a doctor, a lawyer, but you'll have your own lawyer. I just wanted to tell you before you heard it from anyone official. Don't be frightened. People will help you.
Stop. Just stop. What sort of an idiot am I? There was I thinking you were meeting me because I was your daughter. God, how stupid am I? Is that stupid report that was in your letters?
I am meeting you because you're my daughter. The thought of someone hurting you or you having to go through this stuff alone, I just wanted to help.
You're not helping, and I'm not alone. The truth of the matter is this is about you. Guilt. You're like the rest of them. You knew what was going on and you did absolutely nothing. Not only did you know what was going on, but Mel was your best friend and you never did anything.
How could I? I did try.
There you go again. Patronising me, thinking I don't understand how difficult it was for you. Just for a second, remind yourself you only read the report. I lived through that. Me and hundreds like me written on those pages, and now we're supposed to feel bad because it's difficult for you to read. Vera, the truth is, I'm backward and stupid. That's what they told me. That's what they wrote about me, and maybe that's how I am. But I don't need you coming back making things worse. Brian read your letters. I asked him to. I wasn't really sure what you were trying to ask me. That's what they've done to me. Made me feel foolish, no confidence. Like I can't make a decision about anything since you started writing to me, and that can only be a bad thing. I was all right before those letters. Now me and Brian are gonna break up because of you. He wants to give you a chance, but he's like that, giving everybody chances. Sometimes he's an idiot of a man.
We never quite got over the dinner party episode. I had my suspicions, her and Sean. Cheating wouldn't be a word that I'd use for Caroline, but I knew we were drifting. In the early years, my family, they never actually said it, but because of our history, they kept saying, "You've an awful lot of baggage, you're taking on too much." Going out together, moving in together, and eventually asking her to marry me, I kind of always knew she thought I was an idiot. It became really obvious when all this stuff started to spill out. She was hiding letters, acting very strange. Sean seemed to be over all the time, and yet I knew she had no interest in him. Nonetheless, he was closer to her, closer to my wife, and that drove me insane. I handled it all wrong, confronted her. What an idiot I am. Not for a second did I suspect her birth mother would want to get in touch. All the secrets, all the running around, bursting into tears, not wanting to go anywhere, not wanting me, not wanting us, not wanting sex. Looking back, that was probably the biggest clue of all.
Tell me about your life when you were young. About how you got pregnant with me, about Mel. None of that was in your letters.
It was the 70s. I'd left school and was delighted to get a job in the civil service. All the other girls in my town, well, most of them were heading to England to do nursing training. Except for Mel, who had joined a religious order also in Dublin. I got a flat and started work. I made friends and life seemed good. I'd go home every 2 weeks and bring Mam some money.
Imagine I never had a granny. Families, when you don't have one, you can never imagine what it's like to be part of one. Brian's family, everything is cosy and rosy. The perfect family.
Well, I didn't have much of a family. That was another reason why I was dying to get away from home. I hated my father. He was a man of his time. Treated my mother, my poor mother, like a dog. And I was damn sure no man would ever do that to me.
Go on. You got away from the family and you came to Dublin. What happened then?
The 70s. They were great days in Dublin if you had a job. I made friends with the work crowd. We used to go to dances. The Dublin girls used to laugh at us country ones. We'd be still trying to go to ballroom dances while they were heading for discos and live music. Heavy rock stuff. My crowd, sure. We were all still in love with Joe Dolan.
Were you a good dancer? Were you into clothes? Did you never go back to Sligo?
There was nothing much for me in Sligo.
When people asked me where I was from, I never knew what to say. As I get older, I just say I'm from Dublin. Brian says we might have a weekend away in Sligo one of these days. Go on. Tell me more about that time in your life.
The job was always what mattered to me. Yes, ambition. That too. I bought my own car. A new Mini. My father hated it. Said it was a death trap. I had my eye on nobody, and nobody had their eye on me. But I had plenty of company. And the girls I shared the flat with.
Did he want to marry you? Did you know him? Was he from Sligo or Dublin? Do you still know him now?
No, I didn't know him. I'm not even sure where he was from. He was at a party. I knew I didn't have to do very much to get his attention. He did it all. I remembered the date. He was good looking. I can see bits of him in you. Your eyes. His eyes were blue as well. I went along with it. The long and the short of it was, he said, "Are you right?" I said yes, not knowing what else to say. This is back in his flat. He was on top of me, doing what men do, while I was trying to figure out the lyrics of the Joan Baez song in the next room.
Did he even know that you were pregnant?
You have to understand, it was a different Ireland, a different world. He was no use to me, I knew that.
Did you think of...
I even got a ticket for the boat. It was Mel, Sister Mel, that stopped me.
How did you know Mel?
We'd been to school together, all the way up. She knew all my secrets, though I never knew any of hers. That time in Dublin, I had nobody, so I went to Mel. She helped me, and she never let me forget it. Hiding the bump for the last few months was really difficult. I thought about telling Mam, but sure, I knew she'd tell Dad and he'd take it out on her. Mel organised me, and when the final part came, she was there. Even in school, she looked down on me, so when I asked for help from her, it was like she expected it and was delighted to lord it over me. I remember at the time thinking it was easier to give the child to her than to a stranger or a social worker. She wanted a child more than me.
She would have been a very bad mother, a dangerous mother.
She was in a crisp white habit.
I'm sure the nurses thought Mel was some battle-axe nun helping an unmarried mother. Well, not so much helping, but bossing.
In school, she bossed everyone. Even the other nuns, the young ones. Some of them were kind, but Mel used to tell them not to be soft. Then why did you get in touch? What came over you? I'm 30. You're not dying of anything, are you? You're not sick or something?
No, I'm not sick. Well, not in that way. I wanted to ask you... I wanted to tell you things. Explain things if I could.
I've almost lived half my life without you. Without your help. Why would I need it now?
An affair was the first thing that came into my mind. Well, it was obvious to me anyway. When she spilled it out, the mopping up couldn't be done. Everything I said was wrong. Telling her to go for therapy, telling her to talk to Mel, eventually telling her to go and see her mother. That was it. That's how our marriage ended. She said, "You don't understand. You've no idea what it's like." And the worst of all, she said, "You're just like everyone else. You want to fix me. Tell me it never happened. See a therapist so I can talk the truth out of myself so that I won't believe it." After that, she had no respect for me. I tried everything, even Sean. I met him for a couple of pints and he just froze when I asked what happened in that school they were in. What did they do to my wife? The funny thing is, she's meeting her birth mother this morning. Guess who's waiting outside for her? Guess. Her consoler and minder, Sean. They've history that I don't know or understand. Over the years, there were always jokes about how I was so perfect. The perfect family, perfect childhood. Caroline used to say, "You didn't get the perfect wife." Her childhood was something we talked about, but really, she gave very little away. Opening up to me was difficult for her, and I did try and listen. Obviously, I hadn't been listening at all. The beatings. Caroline mentioned names of some of the lads. They were on my basketball team, and poor Sean. I had no idea what they'd been through. She talked about everything as if it was about somebody else, anybody else but her.
Tell me about me. What did you know about me? Why did you never send me anything? Did you know what I looked like? How can you just forget about your own child?
Maybe I was too weak and Mel had too much power. She said you were okay without me, and I believed her.
You weren't really that desperate, or were you?
Desperate? Yes, I was. Desperate enough to give my own child up. Oh, it's not easy to understand, but she had power over me. She was a nun from my hometown.
Even if you didn't have an abortion, you could have went to England. We could have had some sort of life.
It's not that simple. Mel did hurt me in many, many ways over the years.
How? What did she do?
Mel said I should stop trying to get into your life. It was too confusing for you. And like a fool, I believed her. Still, she never said stop sending money. Not even one photograph. I asked her so many times. After all these years, you think it's because of the report. That's just made me want to meet you more. But for the last 15 years, I tried. Trying isn't enough. Thinking about you, wondering about you, asking Mel. Your age, my age, I thought it wouldn't happen.
Somewhere in my mind, I was half afraid you'd love Mel. Selfish, I know. The stuff in the report, I knew there was going to be some sort of legal redress board. Your institution was on every page. I couldn't sleep at night. Caroline, it's not nearly what I could have done or what I should have done, but I wanted to meet you. I confronted Mel, and that gave me the strength to ask for a meeting. Finally, you agreed.
Were you at the christening?
No. After 5 days, I handed you over to Mel. She took care of all that. The christening, everything.
And the years in between? What happened? When did you know I am the way I am with cerebral palsy?
When you were 5, Mel rang me in work. She told me on the phone. She refused to meet me. You had been diagnosed with a condition. She used the word spastic. To tell you the truth, I think she was happy that I didn't have a perfect child. That I got that wrong too.
It was her that had something wrong with her.
She said there was no point in making contact with you. I was told they were having trouble trying to find a family that would adopt.
I didn't need much. You could have managed. We could have managed.
Mel assured me you'd be fine. You'd be put into a special school run by her order, and she'd watch out for you.
So that's it? Mel bullied you and she bullied the rest of us. And you're coming back asking how much she affected me. There must be something else. You ignored me for 30 years.
I knew you'd be angry with me. I rang the agency every 2 weeks. I was often tempted to get Mel involved, but realised women like her have no real influence anymore. They kept repeating, "Vera, we've made contact, but the young woman hasn't replied, and that's her right." Oh, I used to hate that. The young woman. You were my daughter, not some random young one.
I'm not sure anything. And no, I'm not your daughter.
I answered everything you asked me in the best way I could. These were the reasons I did what I did. I'm so very, very sorry.
You're sorry? Guess what? I'm sorry too. Have you any idea? The letters were fine, but this shit of wanting to see me, I don't understand.
The letters, I wasn't sure. I couldn't ask. How do you ask? And you never mentioned anything.
You want the list of what happened. That's what you really want, isn't it? Well, I wasn't keeping a diary. Anyway, what would come first? A sense of abandonment from my mother? Then I'd work my way down. I'd have to ask myself, who hurt me the most? My mother or the nuns, Sister Mel or you? If the abuse report wasn't coming out, would I even cross your mind? What if there's no list? Would that mean you're off the hook? Your conscience could rest. Now I know why you're here. It was all about you. You, your job. In my letters I made up all of it. The kindness of nuns, the lovely Sister Mel, the good job I had. The truth was...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
My manners. Mel would kill me now if she saw the way I was acting. Even at my age, she still has power over me. She's not even in my life. I've never told anyone this. I've held it inside of me, but imagine Brian. He made me invite her to our wedding. Between you and me, it might be the only secret we ever have, but I wanted to kill him for suggesting that. I went along with it. The wedding pictures, that's why he wanted Mel there. When I hear you saying sorry, I'm not sure what you mean. Which bit are you sorry for? Dumping me with the nuns, not getting in touch. I was so lonely. That's what it did to me. It made me lonely and needy. Just like you.
You're not like me. To survive what you've lived through takes courage and strength.
That's what strangers say. They're only referring to my CP. The truth is, it's the mundane details of living that are unmanageable. You never think it. Sleeping. That's when I feel most afraid. Eating, I either eat too much, eat too little, or don't eat at all. Then my biggest worry, my CP. As I age, I'll have to go back into some sort of institution. Will it happen all over again? The nuns without their uniforms, other people like you, Vera. You're no different to Mel. You didn't want a disabled daughter. Whatever way you dress it up, you didn't really care about the stigma and shame of being a single parent.
Your CP had nothing to do with it. Maybe my choices were wrong, but I made them with good intentions.
Was your intention to forget about me? Pay a nun off and you just carried on with your life? Was that how it was? Your lovely friend Mel. Well, let's just say you don't make it to matron of a special school on the virtues of kindness. Did you know that kids who were orphans were treated worse? Orphans, travellers, Protestants and poor children. I won't even tell you what they thought of kids who were made outside of marriage.
The sexual thing, she told me they did what they wanted to the children. She explained the older children, teenagers, they in turn would do it to each other. In bathrooms, girls with all sorts of disabilities were pushed up against the wall. Caroline said there was always more than one lad involved. It was the next question, the most obvious, but I just couldn't bring myself to ask her. The next day was Sunday. We hadn't slept much. I read the letters out loud to her like she'd asked. I took Monday and Tuesday off work just to be with her. We drove out the country past the old institution. It never occurred to me until then that we should have done it earlier, but really I had no idea. Then everything made sense. The letters. Her mother wanted to meet her. What do you say? What do you tell someone you love? How do you ask them which part of the story is theirs? Which part of the abuse happened to you? All of it? Some of it? Or none of it? Then she told me, Mel, Sister Mel, had rubbed excrement on her face because Caroline had caught diarrhea the night before her communion. She was 7.
That day when Sister Melda said there was no need for me to have my hair put in wrinkles like the other girls. It would take too much time. I was lucky to have a veil. That was the day in my life that I stopped believing I had a mother.
I sent money. I sent Mel a dress for you and shoes.
Mel put it on somebody else. She said I would dirty it. It built it up in my head that maybe you'd come. I even told the other girls my mammy's coming. But she didn't. For weeks afterwards, the girls were laughing at me. They'd be singing, "Where's your mama gone?" Even Mel. I still remember she said, "She's too busy for your communion. Your mother has no decency or responsibility."
There's nothing that you've said that I haven't asked myself. It was now or never, I can't lie. I just didn't want a baby. And then later on, when I heard...
When you heard what? When you heard what, Vera? What did Mel tell you?
Mel said you were as bright as a button. All the talk in the world and all the explanations won't make sense of where we are now. I could have kept on writing, but there were things I needed to know. Things that Mel couldn't be asked.
She was so cruel to some of the girls. Not just me, some of the other ones. She beat the shit out of us for no reason. Locked us in bathrooms overnight, constantly telling us that we're useless, good for nothing, that nobody had ever wanted us and nobody ever would. Every day, all the time, she took everything we had inside us and turned us into nothing. Now you're about to tell me that she destroyed you too. That's not good enough. I don't care what Mel did to you.
When you were 11 or 12, she told me you were beautiful. She said you were independent. Not that great at school, but very good at everything else.
The only reason I was no good in school was they kept me back. Put me in a classroom with 3-year-olds, drawing pictures. Then as I got older, knitting and sewing, real good skills for someone like me.
But you went back. You did your leaving and you got your degree.
No thanks to special school. They just wrote me off like you did. Wiped me out of the picture. For years and years I'd sit in front of a mirror and try to imagine who I looked like. Anybody that came into the institution to visit other kids, I used to stare at them. Then when I got older, you know, out in the real world, as they say, I used to look at people, random strangers, women in shops. I used to look at them and try and see if there was any of me in them. It wasn't Christmas Day or birthdays or even Mother's Day. Do you want to know when it was? Mammy, that's what I would have called you. I would have said, Mammy, I got my period. That was the only day I ever wished that I was like everyone else. But I wasn't, was I? Not even on my wedding day did I miss you. Isn't it odd for a daughter to say that? We have the same hands, the same size. I don't paint my nails. Do you paint yours?
No, I don't paint my nails. It was never... It was never because...
I don't care. Lots of people, even nowadays, don't want to have disabled children. You're not that special, so don't go thinking you are.
Did anything else happen to you?
You've no right to ask me that. Brian said it must have been hard for women like you. He's soft. Maybe you thought I was stupid. Like I said, You read the report. I lived it. You're just as guilty as the rest of them. Vera, this is about you. You're in that report more than I am. If you had left me alone instead of coming back, your guilt shouldn't intrude on my life. I lived in the shithole of a Catholic institution. You left me 30 years ago, and now I'm leaving you.
I did try. All those years, I never forgot I had a daughter. Oh, you're right, maybe I didn't try hard enough. I was hoping something half normal would come out of all this. Is that so wrong? Wanting to make it up? Wishing things were different between us?
What are you talking about? This isn't about the report. It's about me and you.
That was She's Not Mine by Rosaleen MacDonagh, with Liz Fitzgibbon as Caroline. Bernadette McKenna played the birth mother Vera, Deirdre Monaghan, Sister Mel, and Andrew Bennett was Brian. Sound supervision was by Mark McGrath. The dramaturg was Jesper Bergman. She's Not Mine was produced by Aidan Matthews.